Hello and welcome to this Thursday's live Kriegsspiel battle. We are revisiting the Battle of Chickamauga, fought in northwest Georgia. This is day 2 of the historical battle, and I am here. Let me check volume, make sure that's recording. Okay, we're good. I am here with General Longstreet himself, um, played by Unicorn Poacher. You got your starting screenshot. It's the morning. Um, the boys fought hard yesterday. It's a bit warm in the summer forests. What are your orders?
Well, we're going to start with Preston's division, which is immediately to my south.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send them on a mission across the creek southwest. Um, there's a place called Hall's Ford, and it leads to Scott's Farm, and there's a hill there near Scott's Farm. So I'd like Preston to head down there and start looking for the federal flank. Send out an advance guard and try to skirmish with him in order to draw his attention from Buckner's deployments in the north. And I'm actually going to go with to go check on Hindman. Buckner's going to be pulling Hindman to support his main line and assemble for attack. So I want to just give them some traffic control and make sure they don't get lost and they get a straight shot heading this way through some of the rough terrain.
Okay. So Preston goes south across the ford. You're moving to Hinman. Was there anyone else?
That's it, sir. I just dropped a quick note to Buckner in the chat, and that's all I got.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Who else do I have? All right, General Bragg. I have you tonight, at least for now. Are you there? Oh, okay. I see. You're not available to talk. Your orders are to co-locate with Longstreet. That's easy enough. Done. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put you in the channel with him. Although if you can't talk to him, I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll go ahead and co-locate you guys since it's no harm.
Okay.
Hey James, you forgot to promote me, so I can't move my pieces.
Oh, that makes it difficult. Promote.
I also need promotion because I got. Thank you.
You're promoted. You just can't.
Oh, I can't. Wait, I need more colors. There's no colors available but spectator.
I put them
Change
out,
color,
and
all I see is gray.
Yeah, I know. I put out new colors and it didn't enable them, or it's not. Why is it not doing that? Okay, you can be brown. Choose color.
Artillery on roads will travel 0.75 of a mile per 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 10 grids to a mile. Yeah.
James, you wanted Fermi in Rosecrance's channel, right?
Yeah.
All right, I got him.
So that means that off-road, like in the forest, they'd only move like 0.2 or something ridiculous like that. Wow.
If they're
Artillery, yeah.
oh yeah, artillery isn't
glacially slow.
Yeah, over here, Hulk was saying that he wanted to move his guys. Sorry, not Bucker. This guy.
Oh, sorry. I saw Union
So I guess
guns
just like
when you said Polk. I was like, huh?
So, line infantry in the woods, advancing off-road in the woods, will only go 0.0125 miles per 20 minutes, correct?
0.0. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll go like 1.2
okay, cool.
grids.
Cool.
now Buckner had some. He has like 4 divisions, kind of spread out. So how should I handle his screenshots since they're so spread out?
Well, it's wherever he's at. You'll just have to have couriers arriving to him every now and then with updates. He won't see much at all.
All right.
Somebody got Thomas? Or do you want me to just get him? Since he's with Rosecrans.
Oh, did I not assign Thomas?
I thought you did. It was whoever. Someone had the top of the Confederate line and Thomas.
Did they leave?
I don't know. I'll go check on
Yeah, go check. And just a
Red law.
just a reminder, you're responsible for your dispatches to forward them for your
Yep.
people.
Okay, no, we don't have a guy. Okay.
Yeah, no dispatch guy today.
Quick question: how artillery, as far as like limbering and unlimbering, and then going down this road? How fast are we talking here?
It takes half a turn to limber, unlimber, so if they're doing that and then moving, they just move half movement after having done so.
Let me move this guy back a bit then.
Make sure Cook didn't have any dispatches. No. 0720.
Yeah, is everyone moved?
I am now.
1 second.
It's weird that
Yeah, 1 second. I need to ask again where he wanted his piece to go. Because he wanted to move it to one of the division.
Who commands McCook's stuff? This Mitchell person?
Yeah, he has 2 blocks. That's his whole command. I don't know who's moving the infantry behind him. I'm sure it's fine, but I legit.
Oh yeah,
don't know.
I got control of.
Oh, I'm
Brandon.
sorry. I phrased that poorly. I don't know which Union player has command of those infantry.
Oh okay.
McCook's troops?
You know who has control of these two?
It should be Thomas.
Over here?
Should be Thomas
No.
controlling
Yeah,
those.
I've already moved them.
These 2 are Mitchell, but Mitchell's literally just
Yeah.
the 2 cap pieces.
Yeah.
These two I've
Which-
already moved. They're Thomas.
Which one is Thomas?
10.
Thomas is
Thomas
right here. He's with
is
Rosecrans.
With
XIX.
me, yeah.
Oh no, I mean on the Confederate side. Like there's these 2 like infantry over here.
Oh,
That don't seem to be under anyone's command at the moment.
I don't know.
Long-
Oh, they're under Longstreet, but I don't know if they
Longstreet.
reorganized.
yeah.
Who took Longstreet's turn? Did he give orders
I
for?
did, but he didn't order them. They're just sitting.
Good.
Is this Union or this is Confederate can oh
It's
okay.
Union
That's an
cannon.
interesting
Union.
position. Yeah, I was gonna say that's just a really interesting position.
I mean, if there's anybody within 10% of a mile of that cannons, they're going to see them.
Fair.
They're gonna blow them up.
10% of the
They're gonna
cannon.
get free dental.
712.
This seems like a
Hey, I've got Thomas's Rosecrance's screenshot copied. Do you want me to paste it in Thomas?
Wait, so how far can they
Yeah,
see in
sure.
these woods? Because it doesn't seem like they would see a full mile. I don't know how thick the woods are supposed to be if we're like fighting them.
Look at the starting screenshots I gave.
Okay.
It's like
An eighth of a mile.
1 to 2 grids. Roughly 2 grids.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
that makes
fuck all.
sense. Yeah.
You get nothing.
Yeah, so you'll have to do, with the limited visibility, you will have to do a little bit more in terms of like representing couriers arriving with updates and describing sounds and whatnot. But
Yeah. So is this right here not combat?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
sorry, I was doing a screenshot. Which, right where? Oh, how did they get that far?
I don't know. I was wondering that myself.
Who moved them?
Sorry, where? Ping?
These ones.
These? They only started like here. That's only like
They should, but if they're in
If they're
line,
in line moving through the woods, that means they should be like right there.
okay.
It's 1.2
Yeah, it's
for
half.
in line in the woods.
Hilariously slow.
Yeah.
You're
Halved,
probably
halved again,
probably
and
getting
halved
tips
again.
at the time.
Alright. 720, do your screenshots. Get your orders.
And McPanzer, you're just gonna copy Rosecrans to Thomas.
sure, yeah, I can do that. I was just waiting to see.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
I didn't want to steal your job.
No, you're good.
And so it's 7:15 now.
7:20.
7:20.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's good. We have a good opportunity here. I think there's some interesting things here, but
All
it's
right.
going to come down to some extent to good. I think some good old fashioned grunt work.
I'm here.
Hi, James.
And the two people that report to me are together, which makes it even nicer. So, Longstreet, you moved back from where you were near Johnson and Preston, through the road, past the Hunt Farm, and run into Bragg as he's going west, just north of the Hunt Farm. You can see Hindman and Kershaw both moving west in column, and Preston's underway, heading across the ford as well, heading south. No sounds of battle anywhere.
My order, I'm going to go north and join up with Hill. Longstreet, just keep me informed. I trust you, though.
Very good, sir. We'll see you soon. Be safe. I'm going to be moving to follow on Preston's mission.
So you joined in Preston's.
Yeah, I'm going to follow his march and see what he can find of the enemy.
Okay. Bragg, where do you think Hill is?
Good question. I think he is.
He said that he was going to potentially, I think, go visit Cheatham or Polk. So you might want to head. If you head to his last known position or thereabouts, you should be pretty close.
Yeah, near Cheatham, like where it's hard for me to. I know where he is on the map. I can point it out. It's just hard for me to describe what that place is.
From where you are, tell me, like, turn left at this road, right at this road.
Okay, from where I am, just go north on this road.
Mm-hmm.
This road will branch off to go east a bit, and then sooner or later it will branch off again into two different ways. So go north, it'll start slanting east, and then there's a road that goes west. Take the road west.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Cool. Had a player shocked by the slowness of his progress.
Yeah.
Unsurprising.
It's hard to keep a line straight in woods. I mean, that line extends. That's a quarter mile.
Right, this guy's line over here is it's about half a mile, actually.
Yeah. Well, I was just talking about from one unit, one division.
Oh, yeah. So they got... And if the unit's kind of like half on plains, half on forest, I treat it like they're in forest, right?
Yeah. Because if
Yeah,
they
okay.
keep in line with the rest, then they'll have to slow down.
Hey, James.
Yep.
General Granger's troops are some kind of superhuman Imperial Guard shock troops and don't have morale tokens.
Well, they didn't fight yesterday. There's a few units on there without tokens yet, so
Okay, okay, cool.
they're fine.
I'm just like, I'm looking at one and I'm like, isn't one like fanatical old guard or something?
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Chinleaf, he said he wants to pull up the green division from planning up. I mean, he has no way of seeing what it is, and if he can't remember the name of it, I don't know how he would.
He has to do better than that. It
Yeah,
isn't. Or
he's got to
giving
say what
simulator.
division it is.
Send in the green one.
Yeah, that's what I was like saying. Like, I mean,
What the hell do you
like, like if he can't see the division and he doesn't remember the name of it from planning, I don't see how he would figure it out now.
No,
You go find this person. Who?
You can't
wanna
just
be
say
his
that
couriers.
guy in your dispatch addresses.
My guys keep telling me, you know, in reference to the edge of the woods, and I'm like, that doesn't mean anything on this.
There are no edges. The edge of
woods
the
are
map.
everywhere.
It just goes on forever. It's all woods. It's a circle.
Oh, also,
bro.
how far would pickets be able to like report other units from? Because I mean, like,
I think they'd have
half a mile?
pickets 100 to 200 yards out. So if they cross like the 1 to 2 grid spot, they would get
Mhm.
reports of things ahead.
or if the firefight starts.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so one firefight starting here. Nothing else going on.
Who
All
has-
right.
Sorry,
I have
go ahead.
two questions. One, now that this artillery is on the road and limbered last turn, how fast can it go down north up this road?
Just a mile,
Just a mile.
or a little bit less.
It's 0.75 of a mile.
So yeah, 8 to 9 grids or 7 to 8 grids.
Who
Not to be that guy.
I don't think I have a.
The second question is, I don't understand. Like, I'm not very good with yards. So, can someone help me with Walker's question in his chat?
Let
Sure.
me see which one.
He was just saying yards to
We were
me,
able
and
to
I was
march 500 yards in 15 minutes. No.
Oh, it's 20-minute turns.
Yeah.
First off.
So what was the question?
Okay. He's very new to Kriegsspiel, bear in mind. He's only done a couple live games. I know him.
Yeah, he was telling me yards, and he's saying he wanted to move as far as possible west, and we're not doing skirmishers, right?
It's all
Yeah,
abstract.
we're
They're
they're
abstract.
yeah, and deploy skirmishers, whatever. But he's now curious how many yards he has moved, and I have no idea.
Oh, I got it. Oh, James has got it. Never mind.
While James says that, who has Forest?
I do.
Do you think Forest's Cav and Mitchell's Cav see each other? I'm fine with either answer. I just want to do this.
Yeah, they'd see each other down the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he moves. So Panzer, was it your question about the yards? How many yards he was moving?
It
That
was
was
not.
mine.
Oh, was your? Okay, sorry.
James answered it.
All
Yeah,
right,
just give him like a sliver right here. It'll be funny.
give him the sliver. 740. Don't forget your dispatches if there are any.
No one dispatch on fire. My suffering.
What should I tell Chimleaf about the request for the green division, the southern green division?
Tell him his courier don't know what he's talking about and got lost.
Chinleaf is
Deep
not a
gameplay. Chinleaf should know better. Alright.
I co-located Bragg, Polk, and Hill.
Britain is not close enough to be co-located, I'm guessing.
Who? Where?
No, but Rosecrans moved south to him.
Okay, Crichton wanted to move to his battery so he can get vision of... Because I said that the line was quite tight, which would restrict firing lines. So he wanted to go inspect that. That's all.
Okay.
Long Street.
Do I give dispatches before or after the screenshot?
Usually after.
Right. Try to do it after.
Okay, cool. I will leave it for whoever has Rosencrantz then until they post the screenshot.
Oh, sure, I've got it right here. Boop. Do you want me to grab Crittenden 740 Nero? I've got a screenshot from Rosecrans already ready to go.
Yeah, go for it.
By the way,
Appreciate that.
were these guys supposed to keep moving up? They didn't move this turn.
Oh yeah, so sorry.
So I just got to get McCook screenshot.
And they should probably be not side by side, but in column down the road. Like that.
I'd have been calm. I thought you put back into.
Oh, I didn't do that. Yeah, let's do something like that.
And unobstructed on planes, the general's vision is what, a mile? About?
Yeah.
About a mile,
So
okay.
like McCook would see these guys across the way.
Yeah, I would. Some of them, because there is some trees.
Yeah.
Like, there's trees here. Okay. So I'm going to have to crop this one carefully. Oh no, this is a funky screenshot.
Alright, I'm gonna get my updates. Alright, General Longstreet. You head west, locate Preston's column as it's still crossing the ford, but mostly crossed and heading south, then southwest. Though you can't see it, Preston informs you that he can see Union troops in the clearing about a half a mile to the west, or he had some pickets spot them. In addition to that, you can hear what sounds like musket fire somewhere to the north. It's kind of hard to tell the distance with all the trees, but somewhere north he is some small arms fire.
Okay. Preston picked an interesting way to go southwest. What's the condition of the creek? We'll be able to cross over it. I was hoping that we'd make our way towards Scott's Farm, just on the other side of the creek branch there. Are we going to have to take the long way, or are we going to be able to go up there?
You'll have to cross at the bridge at Lee and Gordon's Mill. That's where you want him to go, wasn't it?
No, I just want him to go to Scott's Farm, which is...
Oh, on the west side of the creek?
Yeah, but you know what?
You said to cross the ford. I don't know.
Yeah,
I got confused on behalf of Preston, as is the
No, it's
Kriegsspiel.
fine. I thought the actual ford was that road there to the... So, okay, well, you know what? We're going to go with it and see what happens.
The ford's a ford. It crosses a river. That's why I thought you wanted him to cross.
Let's just go ahead and see what we can find. Maybe something interesting will happen.
Yeah, I assure you
It's
that
going
it
to take
will.
just as long to turn around and go back the other way as it will to go this way. So let's just go for it and see what trouble we can cause.
Okay, and you're staying with him?
Yeah, we're going to fall on.
Okay, got it. No other orders for any of your other units? I don't know what else you command with your combat change-up, but...
No, it's I just have Law's division is in reserve, so they're not gonna do anything. But you know what? Because we're kind of getting out into the far distance from what we intended, maybe better to bring him closer. So let's have him go to Hall's Farm, which is Preston's original position. So he's a little bit closer in case I get in trouble.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm here for General Bragg's orders.
I shall move back southwest in the direction of Buckner.
Buckner. Okay. Are you taking a road, a trail, going back the way you came? I'm not making this easy.
No, you're not. You most certainly are not. What are the dashed?
That's a
Lines
small
on the-
trail.
I'll
Basic.
take that.
Okay.
I'll take that.
See, his James looking to kill Bragg this early on.
So, Kaiser, did you give Polk his report?
Yes, I did. Or I gave Hill his report. Sorry, not Polk. Polk means his report.
All right, so yeah, Polk, you hear, gunfiring sounding to your southwest. Your courier soon returns, confused as to what you meant by the Green Division to the south. He was unable to deliver any orders.
Bragg.
Oh,
Who is that?
oh.
That would be Hindman. Hindman's brigade.
I thought we made that clear. Hinman was transferred to Longstreet.
Minutes transferred to Longstreet.
You mean Polk?
Hinman, which was under Polk, according to what the umpires gave, Longstreet did some deep research, and turns out that Hinman has been under Longstreet the entire battle, and he wanted it for the southern attack.
So I have this one division here. What do you want me to do? Do I advance forwards because he was supporting me?
Advance forward and skirmish. You guys are not yet attacking yet, but you're skirmishing and pinning the enemy down.
Alright, XTX, I'm gonna advance forwards with the guns and the infantry. Guns at the middle, infantry besides them on each side.
But yeah, ignore the southern. I thought, James, just clarifying, Hinman was transferred to Longstreet, right? There was much confusion regarding that.
Sure. If you order it.
Yeah, Hinman is under Longstreet.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm alone now. But XTX, you got my orders, right?
Oh yeah, you're advancing forward with the guns and the infantry in a line. The batteries between the infantry. Did you want to stay with your men, or did you want to stay here?
I want to stay with my men, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, I should clarify, Poke. When it is time to attack the center, you and Hill are attacking. Like you're in front of Hill. Hill will have the two fresh divisions, but you'll also be attacking. So that will be your role later.
So timing.
Well, not now. Like as said, if you look at the plan, we're doing a southern attack, letting the Union Reserve get pinned down there, and when I give the order, you and Hill are going to charge through the center. Currently,
Okay.
just pin them down, skirmish around, etc.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'm still going to hold position. So that should be all of our orders for now. Hill, go ahead and advance. Polk, go ahead and advance with your troops, and then just send me a dispatch rider as soon as you're in combat, and let me know the situation.
Is heroically running away, and the poor Confederates are just walking. So much fun.
I do feel a bit bad for Chenley if he has like a single division under his command.
Yeah.
I know it's always really annoying when like your CIC is on top of you the entire game. So like it's basically just him giving orders for you.
You just get puppeted.
Yeah.
Big old hand shoved up your ass.
Oh, James, that one's just deploying this turn. It won't be ready to fire until next turn.
Oh, good to know. Thank you.
Quick question on the ranges for infantry. What's
400 yards max.
400 yards max. Okay.
So
Can we get that in grids, please? I'm not very good with that.
I usually do 2 to 3 grids.
What about like for artillery? Because the reduced vision of the woods, do they only have like the range of infantry as well?
Basically, yeah. Unless they know where they're at and are just kind of shooting blind into wherever that's at. But did I roll for this?
But I assume that would have like very heavy penalties.
Yeah.
Just send an explosive shell over there. It'll be fine.
5, but they're in the woods.
Quick question with Sheridan's group, because they had clear line of sight of this Confederate column, and they're within range. Would they naturally turn to engage it, or
I think so.
yeah, I figured. Woods is also here. Is Woods in range?
If he's there, not quite.
Not quite. Yeah, not quite there.
Grab back. Just grab it up.
Come on, erase, please. Thank you.
All right, is everything moved?
Yeah,
So-
Rosecrans was running to go back to Thomas, right? Whoever moved Rosecrans.
Correct.
Okay,
So
yeah,
let
so they will be there.
I guess XXI. So let Crittenden know that Van Cleve is feeling the pressure and feels like his right wing's gonna break soon. And everyone else is pretty early on in the fight.
They're ready for screenshots.
Ready. 7, 8 o'clock.
Send it.
Green and
Oops. 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 Oops.
Greenly. So with Kreenan's troops, I should report that Van Cleef's troops thinks that they were going to break, right?
Yeah, they're under significant, firepower, unknown number of Confederates, and feeling like they're gonna have to pull back the right wing.
Okay. There's the Kreenan screenshot. Copy. Okay, make sure McCook did not send a dispatch. Nope. Okay, now McCook.
Do you have an 800 for Thomas Prosen?
Not yet. No, I was doing Walker first.
Do you want me to take it? I've got Rosecrans anyway.
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
Do that again.
All right, General Longstreet. So you've been moving with Preston's division, heading southwest to the bridge, and across the creek, you spot Union forces heading east. They spot you as well, and so a general firefight has started with troops firing at each other at pretty extreme range from across the creek. You can see more Union troops to the west, part of. You can see McCook's 20th Corps, or McCook of the 20th Corps is here, and then some units to the west, Wood's 1st Division under 21st Corps, are also advancing towards you as you watch. To the north, you can hear new sounds of artillery fire and additional small arms fire, so it seems like the battle's getting more underway.
Wow, okay. It's a lot of contact over here. I was hoping we'd sneak up on them, but I guess it's hard to hide thousands of troopers, I guess, right?
Yep.
All right, well, we're going to withdraw. Withdraw back to our previous position, and I want to send word for Law to set up a defense near the creek to help screen our withdrawal.
Okay.
Or if the Federals want to attack, then let's let them attack. Let them come at us.
And you're staying with Preston for now?
Yeah, I'll help Preston lead his men and help him extract them swiftly and safely as well as we can without too many casualties. Use some skirmishers or whatever we need to help break the contact.
Got it. Thank you. All right, General Bragg, you take that small, not much more than a horse trail or a hunting trail. You don't find Buckner quite yet, but you do run into Kershaw and his division formed up facing west, and nearby to the south, Hindman's division is there and seems to be engaged. You can hear them firing. Also, not far to the northwest through the trees, you hear additional sounds of fighting, and you can hear some artillery not far to the southwest as well. When you ask Kershaw, he says he thinks Buckner's somewhere to the northwest, but he's not positive. What are your orders? Hold on. I'll be right. I'll be right back. Hey, Nero.
No, these are battalions.
Nero, I already moved those pieces.
Yeah, I had to shift them back to take a screenshot again because I got fucked up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so these.
Okay, sorry. What are your orders, Bragg? You there? Can you hear me? Going once, going twice, 3 times, gone. Testing. Everyone else can hear me. Alright.
James, are they able to go below 4 if they rest?
The
ones that started at 4, or are they too tired from yesterday?
No. They can't go down.
Okay.
From 4.
Getting really claustrophobic in here.
Yeah.
Are you taking care of all the combat, James, or do you need help?
Yeah, so far I am. It's not been bad at all. Yeah, Van Cleve's about to buckle.
Poor guy. Got ripped to pieces.
Let's see. Let's think about it. Oh, thanks, Nero. 5. I think if they're breaking.
Oh, if this one was at 5, he wanted it to retreat and be replaced by the one behind it with 4. Would it be able to withdraw while this one was routing?
They got overwhelmed before those orders got to them.
Okay.
Makes sense. That would be devastating.
McPanzer, what is McCook's cavalry brigade doing?
Oh, they're not supposed to. So they're supposed to be like taking cover behind fences and stuff in the field and dismounting and camping the road, basically.
Okay.
So if Forrest comes within carbine range, he'll shoot at him. But he's
Oh.
Ironically, Forrest is doing the exact same thing right now. So, yeah, dismount, get into the other side of the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Set.
The Mexican standoff in Georgia.
So yeah, James, sorry about that mix up with the units. For some reason, it didn't copy properly, and I had to redo the screenshot.
No worries.
Wait, so I have a question about the dispatches. So when Buckner is trying to get dispatches to Longstreet, the only bridge is like over here. So should I use that distance instead of like, which kind of doubles the amount of time it would take to reach them?
I mean,
Like 4 turns.
No, because the riders can go 6 or 3 to 4 miles in a turn. So I guess if you want to apply a delay, that's fine. Normally, I don't have any delays in the live games.
It hurts my head to have delays in live games.
I do. I don't have the brain power. I did just stop Rosecrans because his orders were go south to McCook, and I went, no.
Do not.
All right, 8:20.
Eight 20. I'm good to take screenshots now.
Yep.
Perfect.
Kaiser to the Cav, what do you think? Do they see each other?
I think that they probably. I mean, they're at least aware of each other's presence because they saw each other earlier.
Yeah, let's give them
They're
the front of the
pretty
tokens
close.
and say they're just out of
Nero,
front,
these guys here can't cross the stream. They got to cross at the bridge or the ford.
Oh, I was understanding since it was a creek that they could ford it. Understood. Then he can head down here. Then
Let's put him in column.
he told him not to get him into column. Well, he didn't tell me to put him into column. Do you think the commander would
I think
have a brain?
Yeah, he's got a brain. If he wants him across the river, that's how he's going.
Also, I had a situation where McCook does not know where his artillery is. He thought his artillery was behind him when it was in front of him, and he ordered his artillery to just now, move up. How would you handle that situation? I'm assuming this is his artillery.
XTX, I'm moving your hand real quick.
Yeah, just have
Sorry.
one of his staff officers went to go look for it, and so have him come back with a report of where it's at.
Okay, cool. He knows that there is a battery there. I've mentioned the artillery fire. I don't think he understands it's his. / he thought his artillery battery was actually started behind his current position. Okay, cool. I'm going to take that screenshot then.
Nero, I've got Crittenden screenshot if you want, because I took Rose.
Oh, I'd love that.
Great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Walker is not going to be happy with his screenshot because he's in the middle of a forest.
There are some games, when I look at them, I'm like, that's an umpire game. Because I'm not walking around in the woods for 3 hours.
I'm not doing this. My views.
It's,
All right.
it's
Orders.
fun. Yeah, orders.
Thomas.
General Hill.
And
All right, General Longstreet, your men pull away and are heading back to Hall's Ford, but the Union pushes forward to the edge of the creek. They're still firing at extreme range into the flank of your men who didn't get quite far enough away. Preston's hesitant to push for Hall's Ford with the Union presence. He's asking if he could go further east to the Dalton Ford. Also, Law has sent dispatch that he's passing the Tedford farm and almost into position near Hall's Ford as ordered.
Okay. Let's just have Hall avoid crossing. We think that the Federals are probably going to be drawn to their position. We're trying to make our way to Dalton. So yeah, I will take up Preston's recommendation. We'll take the Dalton Ford Road and come back in through our rear.
Okay, you staying with Preston?
Yep.
Okay. Got it, thank you.
Through the gap, through the vineyard between Widow's Glen and the vineyard in that open area where I have no troops.
Okay. It'll take them a little while. They need to, get back into columns on the road. So it might, take them, a turn or so more than it normally would, but they're on their way down the road.
Okay. Why don't we do this then? Why don't we have Hindman go move into that gap and we'll have Kershaw take his place there.
Kershaw. Right now.
Hindman's pretty engaged.
Assuming Kershaw. What is going on? Because Kershaw is. Wait. Do you command Kershaw now, Buckner?
Okay, sorry.
I command Kershaw also.
Okay.
So so instead of having Hindman come into the battery there to join the line, you want him to instead advance west across the clearing here?
James says Hindman's engaged. Just have Hindman.
Well, he's partially engaged.
You have 2 brigades. One of the brigades is engaged. The other one is still to your east. As you can see in your screenshot, the one that's not engaged is the one right next to your artillery that's firing.
Let's not engage. You have to fill the gap up in the northwest corner.
Okay.
My screenshot. The other one's engaged. Kershaw falls in behind them, and we'll go from there.
So you want Kershaw to instead, come fill in the gap between the Johnson one already engaged and the artillery guns that are firing?
Well, no, the one Hindman one.
Okay.
That's in my screenshot. That's not engaged. I want that to go fill that gap right now.
Okay.
They're the closest. The other Hindman brigade, who's engaged, I can't see. They'll keep fighting, and then Kershaw, I want them to continue marching towards the vineyard.
Right. And what should they do when they reach the vineyard?
They'll deploy in line and get ready to engage the Union to the south.
Okay.
And I'm going to move to the south east of this picture just to see if I can get an idea of what the Union's up to.
Okay, thank you.
All right, General Bragg, any thoughts?
I need
well,
Bragg's
I'd like to
orders,
know what
and
is
then you can
going
talk.
on.
Bragg, what are your orders?
I don't know because I'd like to know what is going on and to know where I moved.
You don't have time for that.
You
I need
can
orders.
go,
You can just stay with Buckner. It's fine.
I shall
I'd stay with me.
with Buckner.
Okay, got it.
I shall stay with Buckner.
Well, it's solidly.
Man, you
seems
were not.
that,
You're not giving Bragg a moment to breathe.
Well, they had a couple minutes to talk before I got there. I mean, I need split-second decisions.
these are live games.
Yeah, you gotta have the pressure.
Also, these were shooting.
Who has Crittenden? This guy here.
Nero.
Make sure you let him know that like he can see, or like his pickets are reporting like Confederate forces to like their southeast here.
Yeah.
Like about a quarter of a mile out.
Hey, James, I just want to double check something with you because I think you moved one of Sheridan's groups. He, before I left the channel, had decided to reverse that order and keep them there and shooting at the column. Did you resolve any combat with Sheridan involved?
No, not yet.
Okay, good. He wanted to take shots at the column, which they appear to be out of range at this point for him.
Yep.
Both and Woods to get closer for some reason as well. So okay, cool. Just wanted to double check that. I'm just waiting for, and he's done. So I'll go grab the last order.
There's not much happening in the north, but in the south, I think the Confederates kind of have this in the bag.
Yeah, they cut off Crittenden
Yeah.
or McCook. Is that as far as Johnson can go?
Which one?
Was that moved already?
Oh, it's not moving. They need to move up now to get any fighting.
So chase him a little bit.
I think it can solidly be said that McCook is McCooked.
He said to like flip this guy south to begin engaging, but like engaging way. He's like pointing right at his own legs.
Artillery with that.
Can artillery stack with the image?
Yeah, put the guns in the midst of the lines.
Sorry, don't resolve that combat yet. I'm still getting Crittenden's orders. I was waiting for Panzer to finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Throw me right under the bus, thanks.
Oh, just that was my
Slow ass umpire over here.
Yeah, no, so
Rolls
Kaiser
away.
Man.
before I got promoted, I was going to have Kaiser take care of a piece, and this guy was so selfish. He actually took care of his own pieces first. Can't even believe it.
I know. I already resolved that cavalry combat.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. I got time. I got two players with very passive. Well, I have one player who commands 2 cavalry brigades in the middle of the woods, and then the other player is reserve line.
I would hate to be a cavalry player on this map. Like, of all of the maps to have cavalry on.
I think Mitchell's doing really well. She's like identified the 2 places where Confederate Cav were trying to mess with they think this is an important relief column. So she was like, no, block here, and she called them both right.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't change a whole lot, but I just had to double check that just in case.
No worries. So the artillery broke because it's taken infilade fire right down the road, canister shot.
Yeah.
And plus they're outnumbered.
Question with personal rallying during combat, because Crittenden wanted to personally join Van Cleef's troops and help them or inspire them.
So give them a short screenshot. Oh, make sure your screenshots are north up, by the way. You have them pointed east.
North up. Got it.
So he'll slow their flight. He'll be working on reforming them here in the woods.
Did he mean the broken Van Cleve or the fighting Van Cleve?
He didn't specify.
Well,
Then you should pick.
To me, what would make sense is the ones fleeing and rallying.
Also,
because he
wait,
said
what
the word
these-
rally.
What do these guys actually pursue? Like, they haven't received explicit orders to like pursue northwards. I don't want to get yelled at for the being
they're
too far away.
Oh no, they're kicking the Yankees out of Georgia.
It's the heat of the battle. They're chasing them all the way to.
This is that
Chattanooga.
rebel impetuosity right here.
So he'll need to like go north directly if he wants them to stop advancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like the direct presence of the commanding general might get them to stop,
Mhm.
but that's about it.
If they
I
don't
do
stop
think like
anything.
this is such an interesting battle to have to do because you can't see anything like a normal battle, so you have no idea how any of the units are doing at any time meeting, except like directly next to you.
And sporadic reports.
Mhm.
Question: Has McCook's the units by McCook, has that combat been resolved? Am I free to take a screenshot?
Yeah, it's already screenshot away. 840.
Okay, cool.
You want me to take care of Rag since he's right with Buckner? Will be the same screenshot.
Yeah, if you don't mind, and get his orders too.
Mhm.
It's just wherever he's going, so it's easy.
In combat and in the woods.
I'm sure he'll be relieved to
Yeah.
he'll be relieved to have someone nicer.
I mean,
McCook.
We're at 9 o'clock, right?
840.
No, we're at 0840. Okay.
Does somebody want me to just paste Thomas's screenshot?
Yep, sure.
And it's 840, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 840.
Channels.
Oh, and Hill and Walker should be co-located, are they? Yeah, they are. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Alright. Where was time?
Who's pinging umpire? Stop it!
Who's doing that?
Am I free to tell McCook where his artillery is located now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. And you said they've broken?
They're breaking, yeah.
Okay, they're breaking, not broken.
Well,
Okay.
they broke. They're.
Okay.
If you want, we
He'll
can
find out by.
show them fleeing down the road.
Okay. Let me take one more screenshot. He found out by seeing them thunder past.
Horses with caissons without guns on them.
An unprofessional retreat at that.
All right, General Longstreet. You lead Preston's column with him, and are just now reaching the ford. Eventually, Preston's division gets out of range, and the Union are unable to keep fire on them. But as the fighting near you ends, you can hear lots of fighting not that far to the northwest, like a mile away. Heavy fighting's going on in the woods in that direction. And
Well,
that's it. Oh, I guess.
all right.
Law would send a dispatch. You're not very far away. He says he's arrived at Hall's farm. His left is anchored on the creek right at the ford, and he's engaged Union troops in the woods. He's kind of centered on the road heading southwest.
Okay, hopefully he's on the good side of the creek.
Yeah, he's on the north side. He didn't cross.
All right, he's in a pretty good spot then. I would just advise him that I'll be coming up behind him with support, and to try to avoid giving away the size of his force if he can keep one of his brigades concealed. To do that, and just his mission is to just hold down the southern flank. And I'm going to ask Preston to make his way back to Law's position by the Tedford farm, which is a north and then a left,
Mm-hmm.
north and then a west. and I'm going to go directly there to see what's going on with Law's division. I'm going to, yeah, that'll do.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you read out the order at the dispatch?
Okay, from General McCook to Rosecrans, time 8:20. I'm being flanked by an enemy division across West Chickamauga Creek. I've dealt heavy disruption to one of its brigades. I've told my northernmost division to engage. Crittenden tells me his southern flank is breaking.
So they're coming for the Lee Gordon Ford, are they? Mill? That far south. Did you say where? Is the Chickamauga Creek easily cross-fordable, by the way? Umpires.
Only at the bridges or fords.
Okay.
Where it's labeled.
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
Well, I'm of the mind that... Go ahead.
It seems to me, if McCook can, he has to come north to my position. I can head south, but I'm just worried if I do that and there's Union Confederate forces still coming forward, I'm just going to get stalked out. Like I said, I think if this was the campaign game, I'd be withdrawing from the field already. So I don't know. It depends what you want to do.
Yeah, I do see what you're saying. I don't want to get tunnel vision and commit everyone south. So Granger should be here in a turn or two. It's 8:20 now, so he should be here by, he should be here now, but he should be in next turn.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I have a report from General Granger that he is just passing south of the McDaniels farm now and is once again requesting further instructions.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
I'll give him... Okay.
I'm going to defer...
He saw cavalry skirmishing to his east as he marched south. They didn't impede his column. They were fighting with some Union cavalry. He didn't know who.
So I would say, if McCook can, it's for him to withdraw north to Crittenden and my position, if he can.
Yeah. I'll send that dispatch.
If he can't, then just defend as best he can, really.
Yeah.
Unless we head south, but I think that's fraught with danger.
Yeah, I think that we're in position here. I was going to say if cavalry isn't engaged, which I'm assuming they're just skirmishing with other cavalry right now, or they would have been overrun in these 2 turns, and Granger would have been stopped up there, I'm assuming. I'm gonna go ahead and give Granger command to you, if that's possible.
Yeah.
And go see what's up with the southern flank.
Okay.
Cool. My question. Go ahead.
So is Brosnan back? Yeah, I'm gonna give my orders. So for what Granger's just arriving at McDaniel's farm, he's been placed under my command. So he's to continue straight down the road in front of past my line, past the Kelly farm. So just continue down the road, and then when he gets to the road that goes west, branches off west behind where Negley is, to take that road and kind of position himself behind Crittenden. Take a risk. So he's going to continue piling on straight down the road south, and he's going to come to the southern end of my line, effectively, where I am now. Take that road that comes behind Crittenden and where Negley was, in the field above the Dyer farm. Like an open field, big open field there.
Yep, I understand now. Yes.
Yeah. So in that area, so keep on moving on down there. The rest of my command is to stay in position for this turn at least. And I'm going to send a dispatch to. I'll send a dispatch, Rosencrantz, to Mitchell. Do you want him to come south to the southern flank, so just down towards where Crittenden is?
Repeat that one time for me.
So, for Mitchell's cavalry, do you want me to send? If you're going to go off, I'll send him a dispatch to say, "Can you come south to Crittenden?"
Yeah, I like that because
no
I was writing my dispatch for McCook.
Okay, cool. I'll send a dispatch to him, save time, and tell him to do that, and that way he'll head to the southern flank and then bolster that southern flank and attack in that area.
Yes.
And
yes.
All right. I have moved Granger. Is Granger not a player?
No, he's an NPC.
Ranger.
No, he's not a player.
Gotcha.
And I'll stay where I am.
And your entire command.
Then you should feel empowered to make that decision. Go for it.
I will have to rename these guys because I did fucking click that.
Oh yeah, you gotta be really careful.
Yeah.
When you flip them, grab them.
Column down the road, unobstructed, not being fired at, is 10, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so that's as far as Granger can go.
Would the cannons be able to see the column though? It's a bend.
Well, I was going to say, like, as they were coming down like this bend here, they would just get lit up by the guns. But if they're not going to go down,
no, they were told to engage Confederates. So by this point,
I rolled for them to fire the edge of this line right here. That's what they're shooting.
Oh, okay.
For the Union and the Confederates in the north, if they haven't yet, have their pickets know kind of there should be skirmishing all along that line. So they should know that the Union presence is close.
You want to bump them all up by like one to show that like the skirmishing in the middle?
No, I think I'm just report it.
Well, I have Walker and Thomas, so I'll just tell them both the same thing. Yeah,
let's give them some smoke.
By the way, who has
what's going on?
What's Polk? Polk is said repeatedly he just wants to sit here and crouch and wait for the Union to come to him. Because his pickets saw the Union a quarter mile away, and he thinks they're like approaching him.
Missed
that.
that.
That's funny. He's going to be executed summarily by Hill after this one.
I honestly think the Union might be able to salvage this if the Confederates in the north and the center continue being like very cautious like this.
Very passive, yeah.
Yeah, because Thomas is very close to diverting a lot of his commands south, and if they can reconnect with McCook,
I mean, Wagner's putting in the work here, though. I gotta say.
If they move south though, and then the Confederates attack, especially with concentrated right here, like if Polk ever actually attacks, they're in huge trouble.
But like, even if Thomas just orders Negley's 2 brigades south, that probably will be able to push back this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Bragg said he wants to go directly north to stop them from pursuing north at this point.
I guess Bragg gets shot then. Get battle over. He said directly north, right? Verbatim.
No. He said he wants to come get these guys under control.
If they kill.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
I want to ask you because basically I was asked by Crittenden that if he can help Van Cleef's brigade fight and be more effective, he wanted to go there. Otherwise, he just wanted to rally his other group. So I don't know how you want to handle that.
Let me get the dice out. We're going to roll to see if he dies.
Yeah, it's my favorite activity. It's killing players.
But actually, no, you should get to rolling. It's your player.
Yeah.
Roll for that.
Sure.
No.
2.
Okay, it's fine.
He's fine? Is it on a 1 he dies?
No, it's a 6 he dies.
So let him know one of the brigades broke and fled. Of course, they were replaced by reinforcements, but thanks to his inspiring words, you can let him think it was because of him.
Cool.
Alright, it is now 9 o'clock.
Oh, wait, did Bragg stop these guys from retreating?
No. They just...
Okay.
He barely got there, they just barely started retreating, so just...
When does McCook's artillery start to get their shit together?
They'll stop where they're at now, and then next turn they'll start recovering a little bit.
And do they have their guns, or do they leave them behind?
They would have left them behind. There's no way you could bring the guns with you while running. Like you're gonna stop for 15 minutes to get them like loaded up before you run.
Say they brought a couple guns with them.
Okay, cool. Okay, screenshot time.
Alright, I'm handing Bragg back over to you, James.
Yep.
I got crit and arrow just because I had
What?
it copied.
I appreciate that.
Ooh, I like the smoke effect.
Oh shoot. Hang on. There we go. That happens at least once.
9 o'clock.
Stop writing fucking dispatches. I don't want to deliver this. I want to deliver this.
I want to deliver mail.
I want to be the mailman.
No, that's what this game is. It's verbalizing.
Mail battle.
Right, exactly. Especially in the woods, right? You can't see anything.
It's all about communication.
You really can't. Yeah.
And
Alright, I'm going. Alright, General Longstreet. You get a dispatch from Buckner just as you send your own out to him. Alright, so Preston's division is moving. Oops. Moving up, passing the Tedford farm now as you speak, but you ran ahead, or rode ahead, joined Law's division, which you can see is pretty heavily engaged with Union troops. Their line is mostly out in the open on a farm, with both sides anchored on the creek. Part of their line's in a small grove of trees, but you can see it extends into the woods to the west there and continues on. Right next on Law's right flank is Hindman, and then there's fighting all beyond that too. You can hear but not see. Law says he's in a pretty good spot. He's got the cover of trees where he's at, and so doing a better job picking off the Federals than he's losing. So he's feeling pretty confident right now.
Well, that's good because he's got some work to make up for after our beating. All right, so I'm going to just ask Preston to send his fresh brigade to see if head west towards the ford, and see if they can make a counterattack from across the ford on those federal forces that are hitting Law. And the other brigade he's got there, just ask them to stand by in reserve.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to go a little bit north to see if I can see what's going on, just near Hinman's division, maybe near that field clearing there, but not much farther than that. I just want to get a little bit better sense of the situation in this specific area.
Yeah. Got it.
Thank you.
Alright, General Bragg. So you move up north a ways until you run into Stewart and Johnson's men. They're they were advancing through the woods. They've kind of been stopped from heavy Union fire and artillery. Even as you're arriving, you can see several regiments or brigades under Stewart's command have been routed and are fleeing back into the woods to safety. As you arrive, Stewart's sending up reinforcements to reinforce the line with fresh troops. Besides the fighting in your vicinity, you can still hear lots and lots of fighting to the south of you, and that's it.
Do I know What's going on with the Union?
You can see smoke through the trees and assume there must be Union soldiers behind the smoke.
All right, I stay and rally the men. Continue to rally the men.
The ones that just broke?
No, just I encourage Stewart and Johnson, the ones still fighting.
Okay. Got it. Do you want to get really close to the action and give a super bonus but risk dying?
Today.
What'd you say? I missed it.
Not today.
Okay, got it. Alright, thank you.
Ending them directly, and when they came, I was like, "Hey, Thomas, I want you to tell them what to do. If you want them here."
Perfect.
So he instructed them to go down the road
Great.
To reinforce. And I'm kind of gonna do the same thing again. Crittenden, where would you like? You have 2 more infantry and artillery. I think the cavalry is gonna be okay. They're evenly matched. Maybe when I go back up, I'll have one of the people in line move up and fill that space in between. I don't think I wanna. I think I want to give you these reserves. So where would you want to put these guys?
Where are they coming from?
They're coming down
Can
the.
I
Go
interrupt
ahead.
you for 1 second?
Yes, please.
Because
Yes.
Thomas is going to give them the orders, right?
I think Thomas just told them to come down the road last turn.
That's totally fine, but I just need your orders
Mhm.
then, and then you two can continue this conversation.
Yep. I would just like to. I sent that dispatch this turn to McCook.
Yep.
I think I'd just like to move back up and co-locate with Thomas. Let's get my steps in, I guess.
Sure. Thank you very much.
I mean, that's a good idea, right? Like, guys, I shouldn't stay down here and reinforce.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
I sincerely
yeah.
think that we are.
The compliments from James. Sorry, is that his name? What is it?
My name's
Yeah,
James.
Miles. Sorry, Miles. No, Miles. Yeah, I thought it was James for some reason. I bet. Yeah, Miles. You know, his compliments to the umpires.
Oh, really?
James is the real
just wants
He's trying to
bigger
sway us.
Yeah.
Don't listen to his bribes. Yeah, Kaiser, I'm assuming you're doing the combat with the cavalry up north the whole time.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
Keep it up.
Oh,
James, quick question for you. Oh, no, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that you had a question for him.
Yeah. So McCook wants to basically swap one of 2 of his battalions' positions, and one of the battalions is currently engaged with the Confederates. It would be this one, essentially.
So he wants to pull one out and put one in.
Yeah. I know that's going to cause a lot of disruption. Would this cause them to break?
Let me roll for
And
that.
then,
I'll roll for it.
and
I'll
then
do it.
Well, the same thing up here before you do combat for these guys. Miles wants to do something similar. He wants to swap one of the Kershaw brigades with this Johnson brigade here.
Okay. Let me roll because I just rolled for him to break, so I think before he could affect it, we'll say they're breaking, but he'll be able to throw them into the line quickly.
And then a similar thing happened with Crittenden's units, where Palmer came out behind him, and then once Van Cleef broke, the Palmer was supposed to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Palmer got some disruption because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to verbally tell him what happened. That's all.
Yep.
That way people can kind of learn.
How did these guys go to 5? They were at. Oh, I see. Liddell. Yep, that's a very good way to go to 5.
Yeah.
That'll do.
She just asked, "Hey, I don't see any signs of enemy infantry, right?" And I'm like, "No."
Like Forrest with his lone cavalry up here.
Yeah. Forrest he was like, I'm going to do something stupid. And I'm
Get
like,
their
okay.
lastest with the leastest. Nerd. My hometown had a statue of Nathan Bedford Forrest. Fucking terrible.
Have they pulled it down yet?
Yeah, thankfully they did.
Wait, a statue of him?
Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Who's he? I'm Canadian. I don't know these people.
Famous
so
Confederate cavalry commander.
Yeah, and first head of the clan.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
Your first Grand Wizard.
Utterly despicable human being. Like one of the worst.
Wow, that's a hell of a pedigree.
That's who Forrest Gump was named after.
Oh, God.
It's not
Fictionally.
great.
All right,
Yeah.
combat's done in the everywhere, so 9:20.
Oh yeah, you guys need to keep moving.
I can grab Thomas a screenshot if you want. I'm gonna give him a little more because there's stuff.
Oh, do you remember? Since these guys broke, do you remember to give like the morale damage to the guys around them?
Me?
Yeah, these guys over here. Since this guy broke, did you like bump up the morale for everybody around?
Sorry, I'm taking a screenshot.
Sorry, I'm back.
I can't see what you're talking about. Hold on. Because they broke, did I do who? Where?
Like over here, normally like you have like a morale bleed over. Like if the unit breaks,
Yeah.
everybody around them takes.
I did. Yeah, done.
So Wood was able to pull off that maneuver without issue?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Some issue, but yeah, generally.
No, I just want to communicate to him that it is a difficult maneuver for his future reference, even though he did pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, they did swap out brigades like during battles back in the day, so it's not like the craziest thing.
Isn't it like the older you get back, the harder it is, pretty much? Yes, command and control is more primitive, right?
Yeah, like I wouldn't switch out Union brigades during Pickett's charge, but if they're just trading fire, it's not the worst thing in the world.
I resent that. I think it is the worst thing in the world.
Okay, where is that cavalry sitting? Okay. Seriously. Do you want to hand Mitchell a couple of dispatches? Oh, where did McPanzer go?
Okay, where is... I'm going to take screenshots and shoot them out, right?
Yep.
Cool. Cook.
Drag me.
And it's 9:20.
All right, General Longstreet. So you move through the woods behind Heinzman line until you come out to a clearing field to get a little bit of a better view. So you're able to see beyond. You can see some of your own guns, in fact, are lined up on the road, firing down the road into the Union lines. And beyond that, the artillery kind of splits Heinman's division into two. It's deployed in the center of it. So Heinman's division extends on and is fighting someone in the woods. And of course, the fighting is continuing all along the line. It's kind of hard to judge, but yeah, it looks like your battle line's maybe a mile long or more.
It's quite a fight, my friend. Okay, I'm pretty happy now. I'm much happier now with the situation than I was a little while ago. I'm going to just send a message to Preston's division that I asked to make the counterattack and tell them to just continue their attack as long as they think that it's good. And then whenever they think if they can be relieved of that fight, to pull themselves into a position in reserve behind the line, perhaps somewhere northeast, like that crossroads northeast of my position there, to take up a reserve position there when he's able.
Okay. And you were staying here, or where are you going?
I think I'm gonna stay here and just watch over this fight.
Okay, got it.
Thanks.
All right, General Bragg. Stewart and Johnson's men remain in the fight. It's pretty heavy. It's hard to tell if one side's gaining or losing. The line's not really moving anymore. Every man's behind a tree or branch or boulder, taking what cover he can. An enemy canister shot is blasting through the woods occasionally, somewhere to the northwest nearby. Besides the fight near you, the battle to the south continues, you can hear. And you hear new sounds of fighting to the north, maybe not far away. Small arms fire and whatnot. Maybe artillery too.
How effective is the artillery currently?
How
shot up are my men getting?
I mean, they're taking casualties, but the artillery's shooting through woods kind of blindly, so the men are taking cover. It's not. I mean, it's killing some men every now and then. It's not terrible.
Rephrase. Between last turn and this turn, I only took 1 damage between the 2 tokens. Is that like relative speaking average, or was that like below average? Like what can I? I'm just slightly worried that they break this turn. Like,
no, it's average.
Okay, I issue orders for the men to hold, and I hold the ground. Yeah, I hold the ground.
All right, got it.
Multiple units. I do actually think that the enemy's main effort should be somewhere along the southern line.
Absolutely.
Of the line.
Well, they're doing it historically, aren't they? I don't know this battle that well apart from the basics of it, but aren't they attacking how they did historically?
What I really feel bad about is that our cavalry is so stuck up in combat right now that we cannot get it to scout anything for us. We do not have any idea if there is anything other than the cavalry north. But I am feeling, my gut tells me that we should use our northern line for something, start pushing it up. If they are focusing so heavily on the south, we could try to be cheekier with the northern forces. At least push the line up, see if they have some resistance there. If they don't, we can try to encircle these fucks.
Well, the only thing I can do is move straight ahead. I don't think, and the problem is that I can actually try and do that, but with the weakness of my troops,
We have received a dispatch from Mitchell asking for a single unit of infantry to relieve him.
I would let his cavalry come on. I'd just come south if I was him. If they come on, they're going to attack into my infantry. They're going to get cut up. Cavalry against my infantry is not going to be. I'm not worried about that.
We never committed that force. We just kind of sent Granger down, and I do think there was an opportunity to hit their flank with cavalry and a committed unit, but I don't know. We do have an opportunity to commit and go south. But let's hear from the umpires first. I don't want to. Are we holding anyone up?
I'm here to give Thomas. Rosecrans, have you given your orders?
No, we haven't gotten any.
Nothing yet.
We've only gotten only our
All right,
screenshots.
Well, for Thomas, let me get my affairs in order. You finally, at last, see actual fighting to your east. Confederates seem to be pushing hard into Palmer's brigade to your east southeast. Skirmishing continues to exist from your 4 brigades in the middle, like west of Kelly Farm. That's about it. Granger reports that there seems to be heavy fighting down the road to his south, and he's starting to deploy. Well, he deployed last turn, so he has deployed his 2 brigades into line, basically just shy of Van Gleef's northernmost rallying brigade that had broken and is now rallied. What are your orders?
Okay. Right. So as Stedman is where he is in a double line, leave him there. So Negley, who's behind him, get him to face south as well. And then form a double line matching Stedman's, but facing south, and bring the artillery up. In fact, can the artillery actually deploy? No, it can't deploy though, can it? Bring the artillery to deploy up in between Negley and Stedman in the front. That makes sense?
Yep.
And then for the north, one of Brannan's, the one that's in column, have them come south to the Snodgrass on the road behind my main line.
Okay.
And that's it from me, thanks.
You're just going to stay here?
I'm going to stay here for the time being, yes.
All right.
And the rest of my line's just to hold. If they attack across the Kelly field, just to hold.
Gotcha. All right. I will catch you next turn.
Thank you.
What's the range on the artillery?
Max of a mile, but it's whatever they can
In
see.
the woods, it's like a quarter of a mile. Yeah.
Oh,
James.
I'd
Wait,
say
James.
they
So
can take some hot shots.
Chinleaf has gone into battle for the very he's finally attacked and he's gone to personally lead them in. He immediately rolls a 6 on the die. Does he die or can he just get knocked out for a little while?
Knock him out. That's.
All right, how many turns?
Let's make it. I don't know, 2 turns.
Okay. And I think that would still be pretty catastrophic on the command. Like,
yeah, I'd kind
the
of
initial
stop the push.
It'd be. Would you say that's 1 or 2 morale for each of them?
1.
That's so good for the Union. If this a stall
Yeah.
because of that.
Crittenden has also joined the fighting personally again.
All right, roll for him.
Crittenden
2. He's good.
This guy's all the luck. He should have given some to the Chinleaf.
So has the Confederate advance there stopped entirely because Polka's down, or is it like stuttered?
I mean, they would have to advance through these men anyway, so they would have to pause to fight either way. But so over here, I forgot this one was supposed to be deploying last turn, so would it be able to start firing this turn?
Sure. Oops. That line's, let McCook know his left's about to break.
Let McCook know his left. Okay. That Davis is about to break.
Thomas is building up like a massive counterattack force down here, but he's doing it so slowly. If you just pitch them south.
Potential attack.
I
win
think
if but never win.
I think some of them are being pretty scared because they have so little vision.
I would be.
Yeah, the woods are scary.
I mean, we
The
always
trees.
know more than the players at the umpire table, but some of these
Yeah.
players know almost literally nothing.
Yeah.
Bro, Chinleaf is marching in the woods and then gets in combat and then gets shot and dies.
Yeah.
He's just ducked up for a couple turns.
And the
Is that a
point
Union
is,
sharpshooter?
It's like 3 in the morning for him too. Like when he's late, it's because it's the crack ass of dawn on the other
poor
side
bastard.
of the world. Yeah, he's dedicated.
He might be happy that he died. Go sleep.
I can go to sleep.
He was a bit annoyed earlier, and I don't blame him.
Kaiser,
Where's he from?
He's like Malaysia, somewhere like there.
That's brutal.
What's artillery rolled for?
Yeah, I went ahead and did that artillery.
Okay.
So
got a solid 2. Very cool. Was Walker doing anything? Because he hasn't moved at all.
No, he basically just said that he's going to move up to the edge of the skirmisher fighting and dig in. But he kind of helped. He kind of helped Forest cavalry here a minute ago, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Combat done. 940.
940.
I think.
940.
Oh wait, was Buckner specifically recovering Johnson?
Oh yeah, I already rolled for that, and okay.
I don't. Well,
I was just gonna say, like, he doesn't like manage to like miraculously recover them, but at least they don't like go flying off into the woods somewhere. But yeah, that's fine too.
Normally I don't roll for black powder. If they're resting, they get 1, and if a commander's helping, they get 2.
Well, that was like the very first turn it was broken.
Oh, okay.
Like had just broken.
I thought it'd been there the previous turn.
James.
Mm-hmm.
Something came to mind because XDX and Ghost was talking. No, not Ghost. I think Panzer was talking about it earlier. How do you generally handle captured couriers? Because I've been sending a lot of dispatches from McCook, but he's quite clearly cut off to some. Well, now he's completely cut off in terms of all roads. He wasn't before.
Yeah.
But now that there's this Confederate battalion down here, there's no roads.
So if they know they're cut off, then I assume that they'd give instructions to the courier to avoid it. But with that road being suddenly cut off, I do 50-50 chance of the courier getting free. So let's say that courier got caught. So deliver that to.
He hasn't sent one this turn, but just in case he does.
Yeah, if he does, well, okay, we'll roll at that point then, I guess.
Yeah.
See if he gets caught. I mean, most couriers probably would escape once they see, unless they just happen to stumble into enemy lines. But they're on a fast horse, so they turn around and flee at least.
And then whether or not, even if they do get killed or captured, they had time to destroy the orders potentially or ditch them.
And they might be even verbal orders. So
true. No, that's a good point. Okay, thank you.
Alright, General Longstreet, you remain in position where you can kind of see stuff that's going on. The fight continues all along the line. Really difficult to say if one side's winning or not. Preston does say his men are on the flank of the Union line, albeit at a bit of a distance, stuck behind the river, but they are firing into their flank. So far the Union line's holding, but so is your own. Men are in pretty good position. That's about it.
Any reports from General Law?
No, he didn't send any.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Preston if he hasn't already sent one of his brigades to at least send me one brigade up to take a reserve position near that crossroads nearby.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ride down to try to get a better look and see if Law's still doing all right in the south.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, General Bragg. Casualties are mounting, but the line's still holding. Heavy fighting. Directly north of you, to the south, and then further beyond, somewhere to the north.
Okay. The division to my left, not Johnson, the other one, with the 1 damage token. How? I know they have a 1 damage token, but beyond that, what is their status?
The one to your left. The one in your southwest area, to the bottom
Southwest.
left. That's some of Johnson's men that are recovering in the woods there. They had broken previously. So they're reforming lines.
Hold on.
Are you eating cereal during a battle?
Rely on Hillsman for the moment. Longstreet reports his line is holding. Okay. I issue orders for the men to hold. The division that is reforming behind me, come up behind me and will be the reserve. Other units, Buckner 6, will come to the right of Buckner 5 to help with the attack, all right?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Got it, thank you.
I'm a commander-in-chief, yet I got relegated to being stuck with... Oh, boy.
Dismount, yeah.
But I don't want to like surprise force. I want to. I don't know. I want to make sure that they're in for a screenshot, but they're not shooting each other. Does that make sense?
Not shooting each other. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I was going to do anyway.
These guys were ordered to rest here by their commander.
Well, Bragg's right there, superseding whatever orders they're getting.
Okay.
I think Thomas and Rosencrantz are both giving orders to Rangers dudes.
Yeesh. Unlucky.
They're getting tunnel visioned.
I mean, yeah, you guys have talked about how like the Union might be able to smash through here with the reserves, but without anybody really be able to see anything, the Confederacy is favored by just how many Union forces are in reserve. By the time they could be committed, it will be too late.
I'm gonna roll some dice because it makes me happy.
Oh, I already did.
Chain
I
route.
wanted you to see it.
Chain route. That's bad.
Because there was a 1 here, or not a 1 here.
Are these the green arrows? Are they doing a bayonet charge? Nero? Oh, Nero's not here.
Oh, these guys up here are doing the bayonet charge.
I rolled for that already. I'm just
awesome.
Where did Nero?
Oh, that is quite the chain route we have going on here. That is, you love to see it.
Yeah.
What did do you remember what the Union rolled, Kaiser?
They rolled the Union rolled a 1, -1, so I guess 0, and then the Confederacy rolled a 6, -1, so a 5.
Great. Okay. Fantastic. Oh,
I like to juggle the dice.
That's why I was pinging it, because I wanted to show the duality of dice.
You're good. Sometimes it might be that way.
It do be.
It's
been fun watching the game of cat and mouse.
Crittenden is injured.
Whoops.
Normally, when Nero's been putting a green arrow, it means he's doing movement.
Oh yeah, do these green arrows mean like they're charging over here?
That's movements. Okay, yeah. Do you want me to just?
No, that's fine. So are they bayonet charging?
No, he wanted to tell them to basically put bigger pressure on.
Oh.
Essentially. I don't think it's necessarily going to change a whole lot.
Yeah, they're not going to move up, but okay, that's good to know.
He also wanted to exchange Davis's troops to Sheridan's troops, but I see they're all just fucking breaking, so I don't think that's gonna matter.
It's a big change.
I gotta run to the bathroom really quick whilst I have the chance, since it looks like there's a bit of resolution to do here.
Go for it. It's another.
Can I help anywhere? I don't want to accidentally double up. And
Do the stuff around Chinleaf's stuff all around here. If you can do that, that'll help.
I'm gonna draw a line of what I'm doing so that there's.
Yeah, that
I'm gonna
works.
do north of that line.
I'm already almost done. I just gotta finish the south.
I can handle like Bragg's kind of fight to the south of that line.
I
from now
rolled
on if
it
you want to.
already, but yeah, why don't you?
Well, like in future turns.
Yeah, in the future. Wow, that's a nothing roll.
Wow, look at all the breaking union.
How can you roll blue for the Confederates? Come on, James.
Yeah, who does that?
I don't keep it. When I do it in play by post, I keep it straight, but in live, I'm just like, in my mind, just pick a side first.
Dice. Dice, go.
Let's see, they're getting chased.
So, Polk gets knocked out, and his men still manage to carry the day without him.
Yeah, they're breaking too.
Well, it's 3-1.
Yeah.
I know, it's just kind of funny that, you know, just as successful, if not more, once he's been knocked out.
And
that was it. I guess I can
yeah,
get the stuff south of that line because there's nothing else going on.
Also,
oh no, you already shot Crittenden. You've already done that.
Yeah, Crittenden got injured. Is Nero back? I gotta let him know.
what's the distance for? What are we considering distance for chain routing?
Adjacency. So
I got these two. I got this like line here.
yeah, okay. So they're all fleeing like this, and they're gonna run into these guys. So they're gonna kind of transfer some of that scaredness into these guys. That's about it.
One of these guys also kind of, since that like the line is falling in.
Oh yeah, they were
apart.
already. You're right. They were in trouble anyway.
Oh, and if these guys are routed, these
No, these guys are at 6 because they routed.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were not at 6. They're good.
Let's give lots of red things.
These guys will heroically drag Chinleaf back to safety. It's definitely not because they're running. It's just they love their commander so much.
Save the commander.
Leverance Brigade has
This artillery could start firing, really. I mean, they got an open clearing in front of them.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Here you go.
And these guys got nothing to shoot at.
Oh my god. Yes.
I think
Big boom.
the Union's about to lose 2 corps.
I don't think that the Confederates are going to break them in the north, but there's no shot that anybody gets to help McCook.
Yeah.
Yeah. McCook is.
He's just gonna be rolled up onto the Chickamauga Creek and
Thomas kind of like went the Rock of Chickamauga route a little too early in this battle. Like if he had committed those 4 brigades and then artillery south immediately, they might have saved McCook. But now it's just going to be that they're not going to get wiped, but there's no saving McCook at this point.
McCook is cooked.
McCook is cooked. All right, so
ready for speed runs?
Nero, yeah, we're ready. Crittenden got injured, by the way, Nero, and then of course,
got it.
McCook can see his men fleeing all around him. That whole line's broken.
Crean, is he knocked out or just injured?
Injured, so like shot in the arm or leg or something.
Okay.
Make him rethink being in the front line.
Hey, McPanzer, are you gonna send Crean a screenshot again as well, since they're all co-located?
Nobody's with Crittenden.
Crittenden? Oh, wait, where's Crittenden? I think I've lost him.
He's down here by himself. His friends all left.
Oh, right. Thank you. Never mind.
He's having a terrible day.
Yeah.
Also, James, would you say that Buckner would be able to see like just the northern edge of this fleeing Union troop here?
Either show it or describe it, but yeah, however you want to.
Yeah, I was just gonna show like the very northern edge of it.
Sure.
And then since there's chaos all around McCook, would he not get his reports from his other battalions in terms of their posture and what's happening to them in the chaos?
That's your call.
I think he wouldn't.
Okay.
Things are completely breaking down around him. I don't think his officers would necessarily. Maybe one from one of them, but
yeah.
Maybe some stuff from the
Do you want me to give
form.
Thomas Rosecrans screenshot while I've got it?
Yep, that's fine.
And it is 10 right now.
Yep.
Yep, 10.
How?
Oh.
Is McCook injured?
No.
McCook is not injured yet, no.
Okay, hear me out. I'm gonna play devil's advocate
Go for it.
There's no malice in anything I'm about to say. His screenshot is too small to make any informed decisions, and I realize that there's smoke in woods. But I feel like, and this is just my opinion, you have to give the player enough information to make some kind of decision, or the gears of the game grind to a halt.
True.
I would give him, like, to the front of the enemy units he's fighting, at least.
At least the smoke of the enemy units.
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah.
Should I describe that to him or show it to him?
Show it to him.
Show it to him. Okay.
I'll even say that like he should see like the north, like the edge of these Confederates up here too.
Also,
Here, I will.
Hey, shouldn't Rosecrans be with Thomas now?
He sure should. Is he not?
No, he's still at Crittenden, and Crittenden already got a screenshot, so you might want to.
Sneaky bastards.
Are you kind of describing something like this? I put in the umpire's screenshot.
I am not going to gainsay the second screenshot.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
That is much better.
Yeah, that's much better.
I'm gonna go get my orders.
It's very much like a judgment call. It's just like, it's an interesting decision simulator. So it gives you some inputs to describe the...
No, it's a good point. No, yeah. You know, something that I need to think about going further into operating, because I like doing this. Yeah. Currently, I've been playing it pretty binary, but no, it's an interesting thing to talk about. But that being said, he did send a dispatch. I feel like with the chaos of it, he would have been lost, captured, or killed.
Yeah.
So I don't think even in this agenda I should even bother rolling for it.
Yeah, to say the courier came back and said he couldn't find a path.
Yeah. Confederates all around. Don't know where to go.
What do I do?
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go tell him his situation.
Alright, General Longstreet. So you head back to what is your left wing of the line where Hood's division is under Law. The Texas boys are given what for, still holding pretty well. Casualties are pretty minimal. To the southeast you can see Preston's boys on the edge of the creek firing across the way into the flank of the Union. And Preston reports that his other brigade is arriving at the intersection, kind of close to where you were before, now, behind the artillery.
Perfect. All right. I am going to order Preston. I mean, I'm not getting the impression that his fire is very effective in the position. And
it's very long range, so
yeah. So we're gonna have him withdraw the rest of his division to regroup with the brigade that moved north, and I would like his division to regroup near the vineyard to the northwest. Do you see that?
Yep.
And I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna look for any commanders in the area. If I see Buckner, I'll talk to him.
Got it. Alright, General Bragg. Stewart's men have mostly reformed. They're still in pretty rough shape, but they move up in reserve as you request. Same for Johnson's men. They're kind of unevenly dispersed in line through the woods behind you. Meanwhile, the fight continues to the north. Both sides plinking away at each other. And you hear lots more artillery fire to the north as well. It sounds like your own guns. And that's it. Any orders?
Yeah. The Johnson's 5-1 damage brigade is to wheel behind. Is to wheel to help the other brigade of Johnson on the left flank. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then Buckner 6 damage is to remain in reserve, and I'm to rally those men to recover faster.
Got it. Thank you.
All right.
Brigade.
Okay.
And to your southwest, or to your southwest, basically Stedman and Negley both report that there are federal troops just kind of routing and running through their lines. In Van Cleve, both his brigades and Palmer's brigades have routed and are running through your lines. What are your orders?
I do. Oh, no, there's no point doing that. So basically, nothing. So there's artillery on the opposite side of Cayfield that's come through the woods somehow, and is firing to my line.
Yeah, they're on the extreme edge east.
I need a second.
All right.
It seems like your Reynolds is unassailed.
Yeah, Kaiser, if you want to roll for the combat here around Crittenden, go for that.
Oh, I thought I was going to take care of that.
Oh no, sorry, I got the wrong person. Yeah, XDX, go ahead. Yeah, Kaiser, you
I
take.
can't do anything further.
Wait, who has a Hill?
No, I do.
Did he give any orders to Polk's Chief Am division here?
Yeah, he told them to cycle out and rest.
Okay.
I was going to say, I went ahead and executed that.
If they didn't have any orders, I was going to just have them stay advancing at the head of the column.
Green wanted to send a message to the units in reserve behind him to send a message up to chain command to the commander to get him some support, basically. I'm assuming that would have a significant delay in the message that general would be very vague.
Sorry, what were his orders?
He wanted to send a runner to the people that in command of the reserve behind him.
Okay.
To send because he doesn't know who's in command of it, to send a message up to their leader to basically get their ass over there and give him a hand, essentially. And he's going to stand and fight.
They even be able to see it.
Speaking of which, I got to roll to see if he dies.
Yeah, I rolled another four for Crittenden. He would just that's like. Is that another injury, right? So he'd be dead.
No, 5 is injury, 6 is dead.
What's 4?
Okay, cool.
Nothing.
Okay.
Well, you can do
That's good because I just rolled a 6.
But,
so that would just be one more.
Yeah.
Because I think he's been fighting, kind of pushing his luck out for more than an hour of fighting.
I'm glad you did the roll for him because I just rolled for him and I got a 6.
Who's playing? No, too lucky.
So he got another wound. He got another glancing wound.
Yeah, if he breathed on at this point, he's gonna die though.
Yeah, and
James,
he needs to seek immediate.
I received a couple of orders from the Confederates to just blind fire their artillery into the woods. That do anything. It's in the direction of Union troops, so they don't actually know where they are.
I think that would be just a really heavy penalty.
If it's a 6, it's something, otherwise nothing.
All right.
McCook also wanted to try and get Sheridan's one of Sheridan's brigades under control, or battalions, not brigades.
Well, he's just catching up to them now, so that'll be more next time.
Yeah.
This guy
Well, he was
rest-
right behind them at the once they started running. So yeah.
This guy can't rest back down to 4 because he broke once, right? Like he's stuck at 5 permanently as his lowest.
Who's that, Stuart?
Yeah.
I had already lowered them down once before. Oh,
Okay.
did you just switch them out?
No. So
how
this guy broke.
Oh, okay.
So, but I was just saying like this one here, since he's just like sitting here, be able to go down to 4.
Yeah, but I had already done that actually. So.
Okay.
Because he was at 6.
Every time you load that,
Assuming
it's an error.
these white squares you put in them as damage indicators that they've lost a fight.
Yeah, are they not showing?
Okay.
They're just
No,
showing.
they're
It's
not.
just a white square for me, and I get an error every time you load one.
I get the point, and I can communicate to them that situation.
These guys are surrendered; they won't be getting back in the fight, right?
No.
Can you see the explosion marker?
No.
This thing?
Oh, that I can see. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I'll just. You probably.
Oh
Can.
no, it's not, I understand what like the white square means.
I'd rather the screenshots be useful.
Kaiser, did you roll any ponies? I rolled the southern one, but then I saw movement at the north, so I put the dice down.
Well, if you rolled the southern one, you can apply it.
Alright. Yep.
None Forest was pursuing here, I'll say. So nothing.
This artillery up here would see the Confederates across the way.
Yeah, he wanted them to shell the Liddell's brigade.
Forrest and Mitchell are as even as you could possibly be.
Just keep
It is impressive.
fighting in the back line.
It really is.
Oh, it's already 11:15.
11:15? You mean 10:15?
No, sorry, my
You mean
own-
9:15?
My own personal time's 11:15. I didn't realize it
You
would
mean
pass
12:15.
so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I assume we want to continue
woods,
going, but
Yeah, we'll do probably 2 more turns and call it.
I don't see how this is anything other than a Confederate victory.
I don't think they'll be well. They won't be routing the whole Union force though. At least
No,
not before we end it. But the day's young.
This is actually going to be like shockingly similar to actual Chickamauga because Thomas is probably going to be able to hold the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But McCook is McCooked.
All right, 10:20.
Honestly, this has turned into, I think, my favorite umpire game so far. This is pretty entertaining.
I think
absolute chaos.
I think the chaos is kind of causing some friction on the Union side, so like it's not maximum fun for me watching listening to them struggle, but it's not bad. It's not the worst.
I haven't had to listen to that yet.
Can you move your hand?
Oh yeah. Oh, am I good to take screenshots now?
Yeah. Yeah, the Chickamauga map is the place of nightmares. It's
It really is.
every general's worst nightmare. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
should Palmer and Van Cleve have moved like through the lines at this point, or are they still in the front of everything?
I think they should have moved.
Yeah,
that's
moved
where they
this
were,
Van-
weren't they?
Yeah, that's where they were. I moved this Van Cleve, but I didn't move the other one.
Yeah, just they're passing through the lines now.
Crap, Granger, no.
Who? McPanzer, yours. One of your guys is Rosencrantz.
Yeah.
Do you mind? Are you gonna give Crittenden the same screenshot again?
I will. So that time I gave him a tail in the screenshot to represent where he rode from. That like Crittenden wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. Here, I can just make another one.
It's fine. No.
Ah, okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna take another screenshot and send it to them.
Oh, no, he's your guy. Your screenshot would take precedence over mine. It's just if I've got the thing copied, it saves you a clip.
Yeah, well, that's convenience. I appreciate it as well.
Sure. Kill ponies.
Kill ponies. Kill ponies.
Okay.
I hate. Right.
Like the biggest screenshot Walker's ever gotten.
Alright, General Longstreet. So, you move back northwest to the vineyard, and let me look at your screenshot, remind myself. You can see that Buckner's command has made really good progress heading south into the woods in the vicinity of Cave Spring. And in fact, you can see droves of captured Union soldiers being escorted northward, starting to come out of the woods. Some of Preston's brigades are there now at the road near the vineyard. You can hear lots of fighting, besides the fighting you just left to the south, also fighting in the north not too far away. And elements of Johnson's division are broken, disorganized, fleeing out of the woods, heading your direction as well. And that's it. What do you want?
Okay, I got friendly troops that are fleeing to my position. Is that what you say?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna ask Preston to advance in the opposite direction of where Johnson is going for. Basically, head in the direction that Johnson's fleeing troops are going from, and look to see if they need to plug any gaps in the northwest. And I will go with them to try and see what's happening over there. Make sure the line is stable in the north. And the rest of his brigade, the rest of Preston's brigade should keep coming north west to regroup here.
Okay, got it.
Thanks.
All right, General Bragg. So Johnson's brigade on the left wing broke, and so Johnson had to send in the recently arrived reserves to hold the line. On the road just south of you, Buckner's corps artillery has arrived, I guess, for your use. And Stewart's line's holding, doing their best to keep up the fight.
All right, continue to rally Stewart, the brigade in reserve, and send up the artillery to the left flank of Johnston. Okay?
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, James, the guns that got sent north just got sent north this turn. I don't think they'll be able to fire yet.
Oh, that's where they ended up?
Yeah, that's where they ended up.
Okay, got it.
They had started like over here somewhere.
Okay.
And so I was gonna have let you know next turn. Oh, Bragg that the guns have been sent to support him wherever he wants to send them.
Okay.
Is combat ready to be resolved here?
That one is, yes.
Okay, I'll go roll for it.
Do you think? Let's take advantage of the fact that we've been holding. I mean, yeah, we take advantage of the fact that we've been holding this side this whole time and retreat to relatively, not getting shot on both sides.
Like,
I mean, either way, we're going
I may
to
be
break
honest
here.
with you, Crittenden. I think you're gonna break these units that you're on top of. They're gonna break one way or another by the next.
I agree.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you should just pull the fuck back as much as you can and try to get them back there.
I can't really pull back the guns though. Like it's
the artillery.
something-
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Actually, hold off. I don't. Crittenden's talking about pulling back, so I don't. That might not be where that is.
Okay.
Of course, if they're.
Although I mean, I
these-
think if they're like already so pressured, I think it'd be kind of hard for them to pull.
Yeah,
back
go ahead
safely.
and roll, because if they're pulling back while getting attacked on the flank, it's just gonna break. Because it looks like they're about to break anyway. That flank attack's gonna be pretty deadly.
To support the remaining Palmer battalion.
Okay. Support. Yeah, I was just gonna repeat your orders to them. So effectively,
Yes,
I'm giving you command.
Yes. That's what
As
it
much
is.
as much as you can pull.
And
the
where are you
unit-
going, if anywhere, General Rosecrans? Sorry to cut you off. You can
Yeah, you should get out of here.
I was gonna go co-locate with Thomas.
Sounds good.
The Council of Umpires has arrived.
Well, yeah, guys.
We're just listening.
This is how you know you're
not be critical at all to the battle.
You missed
know?
my
Probably not
epic.
important.
You missed me talking about my troops epically. I already gave my orders. Sorry, umps.
All right, Nero. Tell me, what are the orders for these guys?
He wanted them, in his words, to shift westwards to try and prevent them from being flanked around, not to face that direction. So he wanted them, if the feds aren't there, just to shift this way. Obviously, they can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're getting
So
charged
that
on
was-
flank right now.
Yeah, so that's.
I got it.
But and then Sheridan, once they're rallied, is to head back up north and to try and help. So they're immediately in combat, and he was going to try and rally and get the cannons back under command.
Is Crittenden still fighting on the front line?
Yes.
I rolled another 4, and before you said that would be like a light injury, James. I mean, do you think he's dead? Because he's at 6, so like one more would be dead.
Oh, not on a 4 though, because there's like.
No, just tell him he's been shot 3 times now.
I feel like at this point though, like he might, like he's like incapable of really doing much.
He's starting to get woozy, a little lightheaded because of the blood loss.
Start showing him like Napoleonic tiles instead, like French and Russian units.
Oh, I would love that.
That sounds like a fun idea for like one of the kind of the joke games that James runs every once in a while, like a battle between 2 schizophrenic generals. So you just like
That would be really
show
fun.
2 completely different
Change the
battles to each
units every
side.
time.
Well, not even
Would
just that, just like each side has a different order of battle than the one they actually have, right? That where like we manipulate on the board.
Oh yeah.
You could also do something along the lines in which the units change during the battle into other things. Like,
It reminds you of like ChatGPT trying to play chess. It keeps like summoning
Pretty much.
knights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who's doing the combat down here with Crittenden, but this artillery should be able to fire, I think.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Double fire. double canister.
Double canister.
Load 2 of them.
Someone doing this combat here?
I already did it.
Okay. I think we'll do one more turn and then call it. That he's about to break in the south.
Yeah.
One more turn at orders, and then we'll bring everyone to the lobby.
Will Walker order his.
And their center's gonna eventually break here in short order.
Oh yeah. What? Speaking of Walker, what's the range on musketry? Because he did move this Liddell forward.
Oh, he didn't move Liddell there. Yeah.
They'd be shooting at each other.
Pew pew.
This. So if this or infantry hadn't been standing in the woods, they would have broken this turn because of that artillery firing.
Yeah, the woods really slows it down because it provides a lot of cover.
Kaiser and I have been having 2 cav fight 2 cav for like 80 minutes at this point, and nobody's broken.
Yeah.
Quite an experience.
Thomas wasn't crazy happy that the Confederates have like
Honestly,
artillery at the east of Kelly Field, but I'm like, bro, if I held my pinky up to the
Did we miss the end of that story?
drought first turn.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. I think it's.
So I heard Carlin go like, if I held my pinky up, and then he just like cut out. I thought I went insane, and then I saw that I had like 5,000.
Yeah.
ping.
I was saying if I held my pinky up to the screen, that's how long Walker's entire command has moved this game.
Yeah, they spent like 2 hours getting the artillery through a couple hundred yards through the woods.
I think it was very realistic because I think the artillery literally started like here and took 2 hours to get here.
I did that one.
Oh, I'm taking a screenshot. I believe you.
Oh, okay.
I wrote you a thank you message.
Oh, you ready for screenshots?
Oh.
Yep.
You ready?
The cavalry are. Nobody else.
The cavalry absolutely are.
They're not even playing the same game as the rest of you guys.
Playing their own game.
It's 10:40, right?
Hopefully they had fun, even with their 2 little units.
I think they had more fun than some of the.
Infantry.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
Yeah, I think unironic, like being super limited in Kriegsspiel is when you have like the most fun because you have to get like the most creative.
No
and,
way.
Like,
not me, man.
You like having free reign.
Maybe not free reign, but like I like having.
A reign.
6 to 9 pieces is ideal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going. I'm team big screenshot, but yeah, 6 to 9 pieces would be great. I could have fun with 2 cav.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a hill, I'm standing on it.
Oh yeah, so I didn't mean like limited as in the screenshots. I meant like in pieces. You know, since you guys were talking about like the cavalry.
No, give me the whole army. I want all of it. More.
More.
And don't stand next to
Speaking
me
of
because I'll
limited.
steal your men.
Speaking of limited screenshots, I don't know if y'all played in the one 3D Lord of the Rings game.
I was the Witch King.
Yeah. Well, I'm that one, yes, but I'm also talking about I think it was Canoe 22's one. I'm pretty sure James was.
Osgiliath battle.
Yeah, it was Gilead.
I spectated that one.
I was in the test game before that one, and the urge to climb up a tree just so I could see literally anything was very high. That's still right. I totally forgot last round. No, I did not. So.
Freedom. And 40.
Alright. Alright, General Longstreet. You send Preston north and decide to help. I guess Johnson was reporting to you anyway. Help with recovery of Johnson's men. So in the woods there, in the Widow Glen farm area, you start reforming the line. And meanwhile, Preston's men go north, and you see the rest of his brigade arriving on the road, also heading north. Fierce fighting both north and south. And Law sends an update. He's still holding the same position as before. And that's about it.
Okay, I'm standing right there next to Preston's division. Have I heard any rumblings of what he can see on the other side of the woods there?
He just barely moved into the woods, kind of deploying in the line and advancing through them. So no, not yet.
Okay. Well, I want him to continue advancing, and if he sees an opportunity to attack, to go ahead and start attacking. He can take his whole division with him. And I'm going to ask, I don't know, Johnson's boys can look after the prisoners over here unless they're up to returning to their division. And I'm going to ask Law if he doesn't need it to send me his spare brigade to the vineyard as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to get a look at what's in front of Preston. I'm going to go with Preston in his attack.
Okay. Bragg is up there, so I'm going to go ahead and co-locate you. But don't say anything until I get his orders.
Okay. Sounds good, thanks.
Alright, General Bragg. Your fighting continues. Pretty stagnant. Johnson and Stewart are holding. You can see Preston has arrived from the south, is deploying in the woods and advancing towards you to reinforce you at Longstreet's orders. Stewart's also, his back line's also resting up, getting some water and some food. And you get a lot of dispatches. You send a lot of dispatches. That artillery was unable to move forward. The timing I had for the screenshot was wrong. So they arrived now. They hadn't arrived before. But they can be deployed now. You still hear lots of course, you see the fighting to the north. You hear lots of fighting to the south. And soon after, Longstreet arrives. But I need your orders before you can talk to him.
Okay, I issue orders to Preston to go on my left flank, right next to Johnson 6-1 damage, and issue orders to Stewart to be in reserve, ready to replace Johnson 6-1. And also the battery shall form between Johnson 6-1 and Stewart 5.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. You can now freely talk.
DH Hills Corps to your south. They all report that they are holding, and in some places, like where you physically are now, are actually holding pretty easily. Yeah, there's not really any crazy risk of them breaking through. The center is a little nervous, but. And then to the south, Granger reports that he is being engaged by elements of Hill's Corps as well, and his artillery is supporting Crittenden to very good effect.
Cool. So my orders are to the south, just to continue as they are, and Rosencrantz going to take over down there. So up here to the north, Brannon is going to swing onto the flank of the Confederate line with the artillery and just basically fire into the flank, and then we'll continue down the line to try and roll up the line here. If any cavalry turns up in our rear, we'll just turn around and hit them instead. But that's just what I'm going to do here. Reynolds keep forward, firing forward, and Brannon work down the line with the artillery. And I'll go with Brannon. Actually, no, I'll move down to in between the two Reynolds brigades, actually.
Okay.
Thank you. No, that's fine, thanks.
Shout at the man. Give them incentives.
There we go.
Sir, please.
And it was a real nice edge here, but the Union just barely won out before being broken.
He held his ground there way longer than he had any right to.
Did they finally break through in their south too?
Yeah. We got full route. And I feel like at this point the cannons were ordered to turn around shoot, but everyone's breaking. They're gone. They're not sticking around.
Yeah. I mean, Negley is here and fresh, so like I don't think they're gonna make it much further north, but yeah.
I think these guys, after fighting for so long, would definitely be like eager to see off the guys they're fighting.
He was confused for a moment that he had no idea anywhere where Davis's troops are. It's like I don't even know roughly where they're. I was like, nope.
James, I have a dumb 1240 question for you because your players are predictable. Mitchell and Forrest would like to duel.
Of course, yeah.
Yes. Mitchell challenged it. Forrest accepted.
There you go.
The stipulation. Wait. They're going to duel with pistols at 10 paces, but Forrest is going to fire on 2.
Oh.
Oh, so dishonorable.
Oh, okay. Mitchell's dead. But before he dies, he wounds Mitchell or Forrest, and he'll die 3 weeks later.
That's funny.
All right, I'm screenshotting that. Thank you.
Yeah, Forrest gets a gut shot.
Oh, poor bastard.
Oh man.
Are we calling it this turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is all the
This is
combat
pretty
done?
much-
Not
Yeah,
yet.
I resolved down.
I'm gonna run and grab some water.
I need to resolve this.
So this is pretty much
It's called White
historical,
Dice.
yeah.
Pretty.
We got like
historical,
the cook here. He's like, if you guys seen The Hobbit, he's like, when we pulled back in Moria by the rest after they had lost the battle.
Hang on.
That's the
So
cook
I
right
see
now.
that this. Oh, that's from.
Oh, this needs to be rolled for. I need to-
Give him a +2 for the flank attack.
Remind me of the bayonet charge rules for the Civil War.
So roll. You do roll double dice, and if it's hitting the flank, it's going to be +2.
Oh, also, where's the dice? Because Walker's leading this charge in person. I can't imagine why.
And then add +1 if someone's involved in person.
It's because it's 1240.
Oh, Walker does.
Imagine that's going to cost the Confederates like the Northern Line and turn this from like a victory to like a draw.
Your end game hubris.
Yeah.
No sense of consequences.
Did anyone roll for this flank attack? Because Walker just died.
What do you think it should? I mean, you can just
Probably break the flank right there.
Broken.
They're fleeing.
I don't know how to spot.
And that causes a chain route down here where this guy also breaks.
Yeah.
Gives the Union something to be proud of at the end.
Yeah.
Is this artillery broken as well?
That artillery has just been firing for several turns.
Oh, okay, so they're tired. Oh, these guys broke too. What happened there?
Chain route. Because these guys were already exhausted and they've been fighting for like 2 turns. Then this broke here and then broke. Then broke.
So. All right. Let's get rid of the dice.
Are we doing one more turn or is that it?
No, that was it. Get everyone to the lobby.
Oh no, bro. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Well, lobby's bad.
All right, welcome everyone. Please mute your mics till it's your turn to speak. All right. So before I share the screen and go over what happened, let's hear from the CIC. So starting with Rosecrans on the Union side, how do you think you're doing? Are you winning, losing? How are you feeling?
Hi everyone, had a lot of fun. It was super exciting. Right now, I think I mean, I know at least 2 of our CIC is MIA. One is shot at least twice. I don't think we're doing too hot. It doesn't feel like a complete crush so far, though. But yeah, I don't know how many casualties we've taken, like, versus them. So probably not too hot.
Yep.
Okay. That's all.
General Bragg?
Unless they're between last turn and this turn, there was an unmitigated disaster in the north. I can't. I honestly don't think I could be happier with the situation right now.
All right.
I think we're doing very well.
Feeling pretty good about it. All right. Let me share my screen. So, this is either the 3rd or the 4th time I've run a game on Chickamauga. It's a fun one. I've actually been to this battlefield too. And it is a nightmare for generals because you can't see anything, and it makes things even worse than normal for Kriegsspiel. So we recognize that and acknowledge that your screenshots were crappy, and it was probably hard to know what was going on, and that was all on purpose. So this is day 2 of Chickamauga, and I tried as hard as I could to be historical in the positioning, the starting positioning for the day, and reflecting like the fatigue and the tiredness of the troops that had fought the day before. So the Confederates had an advantage, slight advantage in numbers. I think they had 1 or 2 divisions extra than the Union, and they are deployed historically, kind of along that line, but with some reserves. And then the Union similarly was also kind of deployed about a half a mile apart from that. And the fight, I mostly dealt with stuff in the south, but the fight in the south happened pretty quickly. I had Longstreet, and he said to cross Hall's Ford. Those were the orders, and so Preston did that. He started by going this way, which is not what Longstreet intended, but that's what happened. And actually, I think it worked out because that one division was able to distract 3 brigades, 3 units for a while. So it drew McCook's attention for a while. So I actually think it worked out. And then he retreated back this way and made a long route march all along there. But there was pretty heavy push right here through the center. And what it did is it ended up cutting off McCook from everyone else. And so there's a heavy fight kind of along this line for 2 hours. Where McCook was on his own fighting both Buckner and Longstreet, and he was just outnumbered. So he stood for a good while. He made a good fight of it, but as you can see here in the end, his corps is absolutely demolished. They're all fleeing, completely routed and broken. He had 3 brigades captured, so pretty disastrous for the Union in the south. He's cut off from the rest of the army. He's going to have to go south and west to retreat. It's pretty bad there. And then in the center, simultaneously, there's a push north by 2 divisions, and Bragg ended up commanding them for half the battle directly. And they basically sparred off with Crittenden for hours. Crittenden was amongst the front line of his men and kept taking flesh wounds and getting hit but not killed, and but stayed in the line. And so rallying his men, they took courage at his sight and stood a long time. So both sides, I think, were feeding reserves into the line in the fight here. And here at the very end, Crittenden, I think, succumbed to his injuries, was carried off the field, and some of his men are routing. Still some guns in the area in reserves, but Bragg was able to make a breakthrough. Also, Longstreet's arriving with fresh reserves from Preston to push here in the south. In the north, the Confederacy sat for a while. They kind of had a line along here, but didn't press. I'm curious to hear why they didn't press earlier. But when they eventually did, I think mixed results. Here at the very end, the center of the Union line is buckling. But Walker was killed in the fighting in a bayonet charge from Brennan here at the very end. So he was killed, and then his line broke as a result. So the Union is able to stymie the attack in the north at least, but it's looking pretty bad in the center and south. And then the cavalry, I didn't have the cavalry, so I can't say much, except I know they were sparring with each other throughout the whole battle, kind of here in the back line in the north. At the very end, Mitchell and Forrest agreed to a duel, but Forrest was dishonorable and shot on the count of 2 instead of 10. So Mitchell was shot in the heart and died almost immediately, but he did get a shot off before he died and hit Forrest in the gut. So Forrest didn't die immediately, but he will succumb to his injuries a few weeks later. And so in the end, both cavalry commanders will die. So we had, let's see, Walker died, Forrest died on the Confederate side. On the Union side, Mitchell died, and Crittenden's in, not dead, but critical condition from 3 different wounds. I think
Polk was also hit.
Oh, where'd Polk go? We missed Polk.
For wounds.
Oh, yeah, Polk was wounded as well. So the woods of Chickamauga have claimed many a general. That's it from my perspective. So now we're going to hear from all the other umpires and their perspectives, and then finally all the players will have a chance. So I'm just going to start with Umpire Kaiser.
Hello, I had Generals Forrester and Hill. So Hill was, actually want to draw for once on this one. Hill was kind of back here and made the very slow, painful march all the way up to the front to finally deliver his push in the center here, and that's what's buckling the Union line, as there's a pretty big bayonet charge through the woods over in this mess. As he's also pressing down south here. Now, that was pretty straightforward and interesting to watch, but pretty typical Kriegsspiel. On the other hand, Forrest and Mitchell's duel in the north is one of the most hilarious set of events I think I've seen in a very long time. So starting from up here, Forrest went this way and then kind of split his force in half, with one going north and then the other going this way. Meanwhile, the Union, grab another color, Mitchell kind of came this way and then also split off some to the north up this way. And so what ended up happening was Forrest tried to lay an ambush here for a while, which didn't end up working out, as eventually Mitchell spotted him. But then sent this force going on a wide flank north, came and met Mitchell, who right here. They fought for a while, then retreated back this way, then went on a long flank around this way, and then eventually came back all the way that way. While meanwhile over here, Pegram's brigade came up this way and then eventually withdrew this way. In the meantime, Mitchell went, I believe it was, this brigade went over here, while this one went over here and then like down, while this one went back up, fought here for a while, and then went back up and then went eastward. And so it ended in this absolute hilarity of the cavalry just dueling in the back line for I think like an hour after riding around each other, and just essentially it was like a ballet as they just danced back and forth around each other, blocking each other. It was very entertaining to watch. But yeah, very well played by both all of my players and on both sides. Interesting to see finally a historical outcome.
All right, Umpire McPanzer.
I don't have a ton to add. I had Generals Rosecrans and Mitchell, just an addendum to the cavalry engagement. It looks like they didn't do anything, but they absolutely did on both sides. The Union had basically a relief column coming down from the north, and Mitchell's cavalry, I guess they guessed, but they called correctly where to screen. So Forrest's cav bumped into them, and I don't know that they picked up on the relief column as early as they could have, and they didn't get to delay it or block it. And then on the flip side, Forrest's cavalry really stuck to Mitchell's Union troopers, and it was kind of eerie. He was just going wherever Mitchell went. They both made some really, I think, intuitive calls reading the terrain, and sticking to each other. And Mitchell had orders, or was going to be given orders, to try and move south and try and relieve some pressure, but Mitchell never could because Forrest was right on him. So really well done to both of you. General Rosecrans I also had, and I think he did a very good job of incorporating recommendations from his other commanders. He moved back and forth to try and get a better idea of the battle, which I think was a very strong decision. He tried to get farther south to get to McCook, but by the time that order was given, there was already a giant breach in the Union line, and that couldn't be done safely. So all in all, great job to everybody. And I'd just like to say finally, I have a huge amount of respect for all the players who played in this game. I think you have a lot more grace than I would have had with these tiny woodland screenshots. I would have been flipping my table over and running outside. So really good job making information with precisely 0 information.
Yep. All right, thank you. Let's hear from Umpire Nero.
This, I think, has become my favorite game to umpire so far. The premise of how heavily forced it is, and thus the lack of visual range, is such an interesting premise to me, especially with how close the lines started to each other. So for me, it was an incredibly entertaining game to watch. The 2 people I had was Crittenden and McCook. I think they both did fantastic. McCook was pretty quickly after the beginning of the game put in a pretty hard spot, again with very little information to really react properly. And despite him being outnumbered quite heavily and pressed pretty hard, I think for the majority of the game he did once he figured out what was going on, a pretty effective defense to try and keep himself alive as long as possible. Crittenden, it was very entertaining to watch your crazy stand, and you lasted way longer than I ever expected you to. You were wounded 3 minor times, and then 1 relatively major wound. So, yeah, that was a very interesting thing to watch, and I think that held up the Confederate push for quite a while, which could have changed things, I think, quite a bit if your unit had broken a lot earlier in that fight. Overall, yeah, great job to all the players. I can't imagine how awful in terms of trying to figure out what was going on this was in terms of visual range, stuff like that. So well done to everybody.
Thank you. Umpire Prozan?
Oh yeah, so I had Henry Thomas and Walker this game, 1 from each side. I essentially was the umpire for the people who were the center north. I think overall I agree with Walker's timidity throughout most of the game because in retrospect there was never really a good time to attack, and Thomas did have a lot to his front. So I think just posturing and making Thomas consider what might be in front of him was probably the best thing he could have done, because obviously at the end it did not go well for him. Thomas had a lot of sympathy for this game. I think his command was too large, and or his area of responsibility was just too large, because he essentially just was caring about everything up until like this point is the stuff that he was thinking about, and it caused a lot of analysis paralysis for him, to where just what do you do, what can you do, he has to consider everything. There was a point in the early game where just some stuff could have been funneled south. I think they might have been able to save McCook, but you just can't make that call when you're thinking about like 60% of the battlefield. So it was a fun game. I think the duel between Mitchell and Forrest is hilarious, and the fact that Forrest fired on the count of 2, I mean, I'd probably call him a rascal. That's how mad I am about that. But it was a fun game.
All right. Umpire XTX?
I had the pleasure of having Buckner and Polk. I felt bad for Polk because he only had 1 division. But, yeah, I mean, you got to follow what your CIC wants. It was kind of funny hearing him. He forgot what the name of the other division was, so he asked, you bring up that green division from the planning channel. So that was kind of funny. Buckner, I think, whether through luck or clever planning, got in the perfect spot to cut the Union in half, and it really paid off. I'm not sure if he realized what he was doing as he was doing it, because it also could have gone pretty bad if the Union had been more aggressive. But I think the trees really played to his advantage in that case. Yeah, I had a lot of fun running this one. It was very funny. Polk runs in for the very first time, and immediately gets shot and gets knocked out for like 2 or 3 turns, while Tubelecki, right, he gets to sit there for like 3 hours on end, getting shot over and over again, and still sitting there. I wanted to be a lot meaner. I thought he should have died on the last turn, but you good luck. You'll be going into the next battle in a wheelchair. Yeah, I hope all the players had fun. It was really fun running this. I really liked the no information. It was like it really put a lot of stress testing on the CIC's ability to plan, I think.
Yep. All right, let's hear from the players. I'm just going to go top down, so we'll start with Fermi.
Well, I was I was second in command to Rosecrans, just following him, trying to give him the best of advice, but I'm not that great, I'll be honest. Anyway, I felt the same as Prozen. At the very beginning of the game, I addressed Thomas because I saw that he was at the very north of the line at McDaniel, but he had the whole line up to Kelly Farm under his command. So I kind of asked him, are you sure? Can you see Kelly? Can you see things down there? And he assured me that he was fine. And I think he did very well with the forces because considering his situation, as much as he had to deal with, he pretty much dealt with it. But yes, if we had divided our forces a little better, that we could have reacted better to the south. Because in the south, the whole game, me and Rosecrans, we had strong feelings that they were like their main effort was south, and I was honestly a little jumpy. I was suggesting constantly that we push in the north and try to capitalize on that, because I was assuming the north was empty. So points to Thomas there in not falling for that and holding still. But still, I feel like we could have organized a little better to better react and shift our reserves to the south and not lose the engagement as quickly or as thoroughly as we did. And the issue of McCook is one of detaching. That happens when we detach. But second in command, I was just mostly observing and trying to not say too much bad stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right, Buckner.
Well, I had a great game. I really enjoyed it. I thought my umpire did a great job, especially torturing me with the tiny screenshots. I advanced in the center. Was very surprised not to see anybody occupying the widow's green. And then I rolled the dice as to go north or south. I went south. That probably was an okay decision. It might have been better to hold in the south and go north, but it seemed to work out pretty well. And we had a great plan from our commander, General Bragg, and I think we stuck with it, and I think we did okay. So I had a great time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Forrest.
I also want to thank my umpire for a good time. I also want to, out of character, apologize to the Union Cavalry General who, I was RPing Forrest and he's a scalawag, so I, did a scalawag thing, but you didn't deserve it. But you did a good job. It was fun gallivanting through the forest and fencing with you. I think all in all, we squeaked this one out, but you were a worthy foe.
All right, General Bragg.
I honestly can say I don't know I can be more pleased with the outcomes of this battle. Originally, for clarification as to why the Walker and everyone else didn't advance, our plan was to have a heavy attack in the south, and my thought was that the Union would commit reserves to the south to make sure it doesn't fall, and then Hill and his division would only then, along with Walker and Polk, attack in the north. when the Union reserves are committed south. What I didn't expect is to create this massive bulge already automatically, and essentially, and I can say I'm very, very pleased with all the players. Well done to Longstreet and Buckner for completing that wonderful southern attack. Well done to Forrest for keeping the enemy at bay. Well done to Hill and Polk for pushing in the center. And even you, Walker, I'd say you did a very good job making sure you did not have any issues. And even though you sort of broke at the end, you still have some fresh reserves. And that's, I would say, the only regret I have in this battle is issuing you an order to attack when we were doing just fine in the south. I was getting a bit overconfident in myself. And thinking, with that, we can perhaps collapse the entire Union line. I should not have issued your order to attack, not even seeing your thing. The one surprising thing about this battle is I did not expect to become a tactical commander for most of the battle. That was completely unexpected. But yes, I'm very pleased. I think all the players followed the plan very, very well, and that was honestly probably one of the longest plannings I've ever had. And yeah, I'm very happy with how things have gone. I want to thank the umpires for umpiring this. I had a great time. I said the only surprise is that I did not expect to command a tactical commander for half the battle.
All right, thank you, General Bragg. General Hill?
So yeah, had that push in the center, came up, deployed my troops in reserve, but I moved forward and was trying to observe the situation as much as possible, and I think this was a bit of karma on my end, because I know when I umpire for you, James, you usually always make a comment that I make my screenshots a little too restrictive, so I think this was a little bit of karma coming back on me. But after Polk went down, I assumed command of his troops as well and began attacking in the center. And once the Union troops were giving ground, just ordered a bayonet charge with 2 of my brigades, and it looks like at least one of those charges worked out. And I'll speak real quick to partially why Walker was delayed in his attack. One of the dispatches that I received from Forrest was that Union troops were coming down from the north. And at one point, I misinterpreted one of his messages that a line had been established from McCabe Farm to McDaniel Farm in the north, running east to west. So my fear was that we would be outflanked if we pushed the attack too far. So I kept telling Walker for a while, hey, hold in position, shore up our right flank. And then at the end, all right, go ahead and attack. You got to keep those troops pinned down and coming south because we're doing pretty well down there. I don't want to lose the initiative down there. And I'm kind of sorry that it cost him his life in that, but that's the sign of a good general that can go in and lead from the front. So.
All right, thank you. Longstreet?
Yeah, so I led the Confederate southern wing. I had Buckner working for me, working his magic. Really, really fun game, James. Thank you. I would like to thank my umpire, as everyone else has done, for an excellent time, really good experience. Thanks to General Bragg. You were a great CIC, very collaborative, getting different perspectives and being very cooperative, I guess, and leading and planning and organizing the battle, getting the players involved. And thank you to General Buckner. You absolutely met all of my expectations. I think, as far as your decision to attack south, I mean, you had the option to either go, look down the road to Chattanooga or destroy, one of the wings of the Federal Army. And if I was in your place, I think I would have made the same decision. So I think well played there, supporting that encirclement there in the south. So very, very happy. Couldn't be more satisfied with the results. So well done, everybody. Thank you.
All right. General Crittenden?
So, great fight. course, thank you, umpires. Narrow, I believe, was my umpire. You were amazing. It was a whole lot of fun. I couldn't really do much other than try and hold my ground. I believe that the Confederates did an amazing job at concentrating their forces and taking advantage of the confusion. Having the initiative is definitely a huge benefit when information is so difficult to seize and spread around. I took a lot of bullets. I was very surprised that I held as long as I did, but I really wanted to make sure that I wouldn't leave the fight until my men did. Very fun. Great game.
All right, thank you. General Thomas. Be there, Arp?
Yeah, apologies. First off, thanks to Brosnan for umpiring and putting up with me. It was very good. And also to Rosencrantz, I thought you did really, really well. I think it's your first time you've been in charge. Moved around really, really well. And I think that's the key to this battle, actually, is constantly moving. Didn't fight too much, the problem being having a large command, but it was difficult to be at both ends. I thought that the Confederates would actually probably attack to the north rather than the south, so well done to them. I'm very glad that Walker didn't attack because my line folded in anyway, so probably the battle would have finished an hour and a half earlier than it did. It seemed a very difficult battle for the Union to win, from what I've seen on this. And certainly Braggs, you should have been, there's no reason to be worried about overconfident. He did the right thing by the looks of it, and basically broke the Unions everywhere you wanted to attack. But it was an okay game. Not one of my favourites. Not big. I'm very concerned about just for future. Artillery seems to just wander through woods and fire through woods willy-nilly without any difficulty. And I would have played the game differently if I'd realised that. But it was, it's interesting. It's a very interesting battle in terms of the vision and kind of how you have to play slightly differently. But not one of my favourites, I have to say. Unlike some people, but thanks a lot for putting it on. Really enjoyed it. First game I've played for a while since I had my op, and it was enjoyable in that to get back into doing it. So thanks for that, James, and well done to all the players. Cheers.
Yeah, good to have you, Art. In defense of the artillery, it took it about 2 hours to go 200 yards through the woods, so it wasn't. Yeah, it was super slowed moving through the woods. It took some time to get up there. I know they emerged out of the trees out of nowhere, but it wasn't. I feel like we took appropriate penalties for movement through the woods with them. So anyway,
so I get that. I mean, I know that's what played. It just I would have done things differently. I thought it would be because you can say it's heavy woodland that they wouldn't be able to move through the woods at all. They would be confined to the roads and firing through. So it's all right. You know what I mean? So it was just my fault. I misinterpreted.
Yeah. At least there weren't zombies this time. McCook.
Yeah, that's what it meant.
Yeah, first of all, thanks to all the umpires, especially Nero, and all the players for playing. I mean, this was a tough game, but I had a lot of fun despite that. My corps started off slightly detached from the rest of the Union Army, and me and Thomas, we were debating whether to concentrate in the north or in the south. We eventually went with the assumption that the Confederates are going to come from the north, and we decided to send our cavalry there and have more concentration in that part of the line. Okay, initially I lost my artillery right from the first turn. I think I didn't give in the orders for that, and next time I see it 4 turns later, it had 7 disruption on it, so it was basically useless for me. So it was a battle without the artillery for me, but I think the screenshots are pretty. I don't know. Didn't see much from those. I think whoever was commanding the Confederate division, I think it was Buckner or Longstreet, one of the two. They made that faint south of West Chickamauga Creek. I think that was good. Probably a division or so, and that held my attention, half of my core's attention. I think bought them some time and displaced my core a little bit. But afterwards, I had my line stretching from roughly Hall's Ford towards Wild Glen, whatever. It was a pretty long line. It started buckling towards the end, like the western flank of it started buckling. I had Davis's division running away. I think they're running north actually. They were actually running south initially, and I think I honestly I thought they had a lot more divisions like initially. Like I think they had only like one or two initially. It seemed like they had too many. I committed my fresh division on the eastern flank to try and break through the Reb flank there, and I mean apparently we were pretty much one-on-one there. I mean couldn't have done that. I think this was a pretty fun game despite everything that happened. I'd play it over again if given the chance. Well played, Crittenden. I think I received your first dispatch which said your flank was crumbling or breaking. Couldn't have done anything about that. I think my orders were to attack south. That was what we went with, and didn't work out this time. Well played, everyone.
All right, thank you, Rosecrans.
Hi, thanks everyone for all their time, the umpires and the players. It was really fun, just interacting with everyone. And someone had mentioned, yeah, it was my first time like as a player in CIC. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It was a bummer that we lost. I'm glad that everyone had their moments. I don't know. It was didn't see much. Yeah, we thought the North was going to have a bit more action. Yeah, and Cook got. I remember last couple of turns we were like, man, in my heart, Cook is still out there fighting, but we have no idea what's going on down there. Yeah, all in all, would definitely do it again. It was great with Crittenden and Thomas. Their orders were really awesome. Same with everyone else. It was, I don't know, it was exactly what I imagined the player being experience. Like it was a lot of fun. It was great. Thanks everyone.
All right, thank you, Mitchell.
Yeah, I had a great time. I think this was my favorite. I think I have learned a lot and definitely felt a lot more intuitive this time, knowing where I was going to be and predicting with the screenshots.
All right, and then last but not least, Walker.
Yeah, so I just want to thank umpires for hosting this game and providing this amazing experience. I just want to make some comment about my performance. I think I was like got bored in the end. I guess that I had to like make one last push, just like maybe make some change in my front line. But I mean, it was like bad, but I tried my best at least. I want to thank also Forrest for giving me lots of like information, and I want to thank also my other team members for this like helpful help, I would say, and that's all I guess.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi cut out for a second.
Oh.
Mind if I go?
Yeah. Did I miss you? Or
Yeah.
yes, you had more. Okay, go ahead.
My Wi-Fi cut out. Yeah, I had a great time. I think this was my favorite. I was expecting to not really do anything with only 2 cavalry units and kind of the worst possible cavalry terrain, but it ended up being pretty wild ride. Lots of respect to Forest. Very very fun going head to head the whole game. I was about to try and go south, but I thought I need to make 100% sure that there's not a column behind these cavalry, and ended up stuck behind the line. And on the last turn, I said I challenged Forrest to a duel as a joke, because I'm used to playing and umpiring more medieval and fantasy, and I said that's what I would do. Didn't expect it to happen, but very fun outcome. Great game. Lots of fun.
Great. Well, thanks everyone. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoy this one. You're welcome to stick around and keep talking. I'm going to end the recording here. Next week we got the Battle of Waterloo. Hopefully some of you are able to get into that, and we'll see you later. Thanks.